hockey team which has relied very heavily on its goaltender in this tournament. This is the only team to have qualified for the playoffs, scoring an average fewer than 3 goals per game. But Dominik Hasek has certainly been equal to the task. He's a young man, but has a wealth of international experience. At the other end of the ice, he will face the unflappable Grant Fuhr. Goaltending, always important in hockey, but certainly magnified in a one-game shootout. The winner tonight will get the Soviets in a best-of-3. Our analyst this evening, Brad Park.
Goaltender's game can be ruined, or it can be made by a good power play or better penalty killing. Tonight, Canada has the best power play in the Canada Cup. The Czechs have the best penalty killing. Look for this to be doubly important in a one-game to advance. Now, upstairs to Dan Kelly with Ron Rouge.
Team Canada, as you know, started this tournament slowly. Their first game was against Czechoslovakia. They settled for a tie. Canada's a much better team now than they were at the start of this tournament. Meanwhile, 2 minuses for Canada. They're without 2 of their grinders again tonight, Kevin Dineen and also Rick Tocchet. Ron Rouge?
Well, how do you like your teams? If you like them gritty and tough, then you'll love Czechoslovakia. Never do they go into a game against Canada or the Soviet Union without being the underdogs. And yet, 3 out of the 4 times that they play them, they come away with a victory. Witness the Calgary Cup when they defeated the Soviet Union for the championship last January.
Welcome back to the Forum in Montreal, a sudden death semi-final game. Canada 3-0-2 in round-robin play against Czechoslovakia, a team that won 2, lost 2, and tied 1. And in the previous meeting, a 4-4 tie between these 2 teams. The team that wins tonight plays the Soviet Union in a best-of-3 Canada Cup final. Let's go to the ice surface and our pre-game ceremonies.
Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Bienvenue au Forum de Montréal. Et c'est avec fierté que la brasserie Labatt et Hockey Canada présente la Coupe Canada Labatt 1987. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Montreal Forum as Labatt Breweries and Hockey Canada proudly present this 1987 Labatt's Canada Cup. Voici maintenant les officiels pour le match de ce soir. Here are the officials for tonight's game. They're all from the United States. Ils sont tous des États-Unis. L'arbitre, your referee, Mr. Mike Nowat. Les juges de ligne, the linesman, Mr. Kevin Collins and Mr. Gord Brossiker. Mesdames et messieurs, voici maintenant l'alignement débutant pour l'équipe de la Tchécoslovaquie. Here is the Team Czechoslovakia starting lineup. Dans les buts, in goals, le numéro 2, number 2, Dominik Hasek. À la défense, on defense, le numéro 9, number 9, Jaroslav Bejnak. Le numéro 28, number 28, Wojciech Bolchik. À l'aile gauche, at left wing, Iri Dolezal. À l'aile droite, at right wing, le numéro 19, number 19, David Volek. Et au centre, at center, le numéro 24, number 24, Iri Orinda. Et maintenant pour l'équipe Canada. And now for Team Canada. Dans les filets, in the nets, le numéro 31, number 31, Grant Fuhr. À la défense, en défense, le numéro 2, number 2, Doug Crossman. Le numéro 77, number 77, Paul Coffey. À l'aile gauche, on left wing, le numéro 16, number 16, Michel Goulet. À l'aile droite, on right wing, le numéro 21, number 21, Brent Sutter. Au centre, at center, le numéro 99, number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Les instructeurs de coaches pour l'équipe de la Tchécoslovaquie, the head coach, Dr. Jan Starší. Son adjoint, the assistant coach, František Pospisil. Pour l'équipe du Canada, l'entraîneur-chef, the head coach, Mr. Mike Keenan. Les entraîneurs adjoints, the assistant coaches, M. Jean Perron, John Butler et Tom Watt. Maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, voici les personnalités qui procéderont à la mise au jeu protocolaire du match de ce soir. Now introducing the members of the official party for tonight's ceremonial face-off. C'est avec fierté que Canadian Tire accorde son appui au sport en général partout au Canada, à partir du hockey mineur jusqu'aux Olympiques d'hiver de Calgary de 1988. Canadian Tire is a proud supporter of sports for people of all ages in communities across Canada, from the Canadian Amateur Hockey Association to the Calgary 1988 Olympics. Représentant le hockey mineur, representing the grassroots of hockey, de l'association de hockey mineur de Laval Sud, from minor hockey in Laval, Marc-André Thibault. Représentant le monde de l'olympisme, une membre de l'équipe de patinage de fantaisie du Canada, representing the Olympic world from the Canadian Olympic figure skating team, Elizabeth Manley. Représentant Canadian Tire from the Canadian Tire Company, Monsieur Pierre Couture. Représentant la brasserie Labatt, commanditaire de la Coupe Canada, Monsieur Alain Gay, directeur des projets pour la brasserie. J'inviterai les deux capitaines pour la mise au jeu protocolaire, the two captains for the official face-off. Et comme c'est la coutume au hockey international, les capitaines des deux équipes procéderont maintenant à un échange de cadeaux au nom de leurs équipes. Mesdames et messieurs, voulez-vous maintenant, s'il vous plaît, vous lever et vous joindre à Madame Odile Fay, accompagnée à l'orgue par Diane Bibeau, pour l'interprétation des hymnes nationaux. Will you please now rise and join Miss Odile Fay, accompanied at the organ by Miss Diane Bibeau, for the national anthems.
Yes,
This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Back at the Forum in Montreal, Canada against Czechoslovakia. The winner of this game to meet the Soviet Union in the Canada Cup final. Grant Fuhr, as he has in all previous games, starts for Canada tonight.
Well, the scratchers for Czechoslovakia, Drahomir Kadlec, along with Peter Volk. Both of them, Volk is out with a rib injury. Kadlec is an extra man. And Grant Fuhr in goal with that 2.60 goals against average. He has been superb in this Canada Cup.
And at the other end, Dominik Hasek, fine young goaltender for Czechoslovakia. And he'll be facing a star-studded Team Canada lineup.
Grant Fuhr's backup tonight will be Kelly Rudy. Hextall not dressed. Kevin Dineen is injured. So is Rick Tocchet. So it'll be kind of a makeshift lineup for Mike Keenan tonight. He's been faced with this the last couple of games now as the injuries beginning to take their toll, not only for Canada but for other teams here in the Canada Cup. It's been a tough kind of a series.
Hasek to our left, Fuhr to our right. Hrdina will face off with Gretzky, and this sudden death semifinal game is about to begin. Gretzky with Brent Sutter and Michel Goulet. Koppe and Doug Crossman on defense. It is Hrdina, Volek, and Dolezal for Czechoslovakia. Bošík on defense, and he fires it in. Bošík and Banach are on the Czech defense. Now, here's a whack at it by Volek, wide of Team Canada's goal. Crossman clearing it. Goulet can't get it out. Bošík pinching in very aggressively from his right defense spot. Good in center, and here's Gretzky. Nice little move. Now Crossman failed the first time. On the second try, clears it, and back for Czechoslovakia, and firing it out into the center ice area is Paul Koppe. Koppe for Brent Sutter. Down the ice it goes. Bošík, number 28, back to get it. Gretzky intercepts. Gretzky centers, pass behind Goulet. And Bošík flat on the ice, trying to poke it out of there. Held in by Canada, but now on the second try, shot into center ice. Koppe almost lost it to Hrdina. Here's Crossman to Goulet. Gretzky into forecheck, but they cleared around to Bošík, now to Volek. And Volek into center ice to Hrdina, number 24. Hrdina tied up by James Patrick. Patrick, number 6, flips it out in the boards. Stabiana pinching in. Held it in. Here's Volek centering one across. And Liba was checked before he could shoot by Patrick. And Czechoslovakia back up into their own zone. Stabiana fired it to center. Rochefort shoots it back in. Here's number 11, Igor Liba. Lead pass to Hasek. Stick save, Fuhr. On a breakaway backhand try by Hasek. And Fuhr held on to it. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Things that are important for Team Canada are those early saves by Grant Fuhr. This is a pass that hits Hasek on the fly over the line. That's Rochefort, who's caught, looking just to hurry the shot if he can. A backhand shot by Hasek. There's Hasek right there. Dusan Hasek.
Headed for the Minnesota North Stars, apparently, after the coming Olympics. Here's Hasek on a face-off, gets it to Liba to Stabiana. Right on, Fuhr another save. And then it's cleared out of there by Brian Propp. Hasek back to get it. Claude Lemieux knocked him off the puck. And back comes Sheva. He's checked by Lemieux, who fires it in. Sherban, number 7 for Czechoslovakia. Over to the heady defenseman, Stabiana. Couldn't clear it. Bork held it in. His shot wide, and now Sherban around on the boards, and here's Stabiana to Liba, number 11. Cleared to center. Intercepting it is Larry Murphy. Over to Raymond Bork, number 7. Into center ice, Stabiana. Intercepts. Now Mario Lemieux gets it for Canada. Mario Lemieux trying to get it in front to Claude Lemieux. Knocked aside by Hasek. He just got a piece of it with his goal stick. Here's Liba. Dropping it to Stabiana. Return to number 11, Igor Liba. Now to Hasek, who had the breakaway earlier, number 21. Liba fires it in a bouncer that gave Fuhr difficulty. And here's Hartsburg for Canada, out to Messier. Messier checked at center ice. Puck comes to Horshiba at the Czech blue line to Chaika, number 6. Tried to shoot it in. Bork knocks it away. Now Messier backhanding it in. But number 4, Horshiba over to Chaika. Ludek Chaika on the boards. Pinned in there by Doug Gilmore. Now Rochelle, number 10. Over to Ruzicka. And flipping it in wide is Chaika. Here's a loose puck. Pure out of there. Got back in to stop the shot by Lubina as Pure got caught out. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Guess you got to be a little lucky in this game, too. Grant Fuhr got all messed up when he was outside the net there, and the puck came right to Lubina, who let it go. He could see the open net. Grant Fuhr could see it, too, and he immediately got out there. And I guess if Lubina had kind of buried it rather than try to ease it into the net, he might have got it in there, but he slid it along the ice, and it allowed Fuhr to get back and put a stick on it and corral it.
Brent Sutter winning a face-off for Canada. Cleared around onto the boards for Gretzky. Gretzky couldn't get it out. Here's Ruzicka trying to center to Rochelle, but Gretzky intercepts and flips to Michel Goulet. Here's Goulet trying to get around Horshiba. Into Brent Sutter. To Gretzky in front, but he was too well checked. And Czechoslovakia with Ruzicka, number 17. Ruzicka trying to stick handle in, does, shoots, shot it wide, and then Goulet clears it. Held in at the point by Horshiba. Centered in front. Rochelle was there but couldn't get a stick on it as Ruzicka centered it. Now Lubina back on the point to Bolshik. Shoots one. That's wide. Here's Horshiba. Tied up by Gretzky. Gretzky can't clear it. Now Paul Coffey flipping it to Wayne Gretzky. Chipped it, but Horshiba held it in. Czechoslovakia on the attack. Ruzicka checked by Coffey. Grossman now to Gretzky to Brent Sutter with Coffey and Goulet. 3-on-1 break. Sutter to Goulet. Upended in front of the net. And there'll be a penalty to Czechoslovakia on the play. Yashko, number 12, upending Goulet. And a penalty to Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt Canada.
Yashko goes off for hooking there. Good penalties and bad penalties. This was a completely messed up change at the bench, and Yashko was late coming off. And now he tries to get back into the play, and with Goulet cold in front of the goaltender, he had absolutely no choice. Yashko goes off, and Team Canada is struggling very early, being outshot 5-1 right now. Now go on the power play.
Canada on the power play, 6 for 22 in this tournament, a 27% with the man advantage. Here's Bork, dropping one to Messier. Mark Messier, number 11. Leaving it for Gretzky to Paul Coffey. Shooting, that's wide of the target. In there is Messier. To Mario Lemieux to Raymond Bork. A drive wide by about 6 inches. Coffey to Gretzky, but intercepted and cleared away by Czechoslovakia. Banach, number 9, got a stick on it. 1:28 left in the penalty. Canada with Coffey through center. In across the line. Staviana cleared it. Gretzky held it in. Here's Gretzky over to Coffey. Coffey couldn't hold it in the zone. And Liba clears it for Czechoslovakia. This is Bork, number 7. Just dumping it in. 1:05 left in the penalty to Czechoslovakia. Messier. Liba cleared it. Bork held it in up high off the glass. Now Gretzky. But Poshak intercepts, has Liba with it. Shorthand to try for Poshak. Poshak trying to dig in. Now centered out in front. Liba shot over top of the net from point-blank range off a stick, I think, and up over the glass. And a close call there for Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Play just underway. Canada on a power play. Here's Dale Howardchuk out in front. Save made by Poshak. And then a loose puck is covered up on by the Czech defenseman, number 6, Ludek Chaika. And we get a stoppage in play. Wayne Gretzky at the Team Canada bench. Wayne and all of the Team Canada members want us to say hello to Robbie, who's in Montreal Children's Hospital. They have advice for Robbie. They say, do what you're told and eat your meals. And that's from Wayne Gretzky and the rest of the Team Canada players for Robbie.
Great chance in front of the net on Howardchuk as he hooked it around and threw it through a screen. But again, Hasek, who's a kind of a butterfly-style goaltender, in good position to make the save.
Still 22 seconds left in the penalty to Yashko. Here's Canada with Bourque at the point. Dropping it back to Larry Murphy. Centered it across to Anderson. Shot right on. Brock the rebound. And Hasek flat on the ice. Just able to get his leg on it and freeze it there. Big chance there for Canada. Their best of the game.
Well, all of the predictions are holding forth here. The goaltending very good in the first period. Hasek here. Watch his movement in the goal mouth. Down in that butterfly style. Now he seems out of position, but the big leg is out there. And you have to get it up, I guess, if you're to get it past this young fella. They say shoot high on a butterfly goaltender. Plus, if he's sprawling there, you definitely want to get it up.
Hasek, a former draft choice of the Chicago Blackhawks, as many of these Czechoslovak players have been drafted by NHL clubs. Here's Patrick DeBourque at the point, shot off a skate and cleared out by Kuchera, number 14. The penalty has now expired, and Czechoslovakia back at full strength. Here's Kuchera, number 14, dropping it to Boschik, number 28. Shot up the ice, and Propp knocks it to Glenn Anderson. Anderson moving in around one man, but couldn't get the shot off as he was checked at the last second. And now Czechoslovakia break out into center ice. Kuchera, number 24, check from behind. Howardchuk back the other way to Glenn Anderson. Anderson cuts in. Hasek a save as Anderson then crashes into the Team Czechoslovakia goaltender. And then we get some pushing in front of the net.
Dale Howardchuk, who has got a slight shoulder separation, suffered in the last game, but Howardchuk, we're also seeing one of the rare occasions in this tournament where he's playing center ice, and that line seemed to move the puck very well, Dan. Anderson out there along with Propp had a couple of good scoring chances. Here he comes in with a good wrist shot up. Hasek just kind of covering the angle and handling that in his pads.
This program is protected by copyright. Any use of this telecast without permission is prohibited. Here's a loose puck cleared into center ice. Norman Rochefort has it there, number 5. Rochefort from the Quebec Nordiques to Michel Goulet, his Nordique teammate, but the play is offside at Team Czechoslovakia's blue line.
Michel Goulet has been troubled by a bit of a knee problem, but he's okay now, they say. He missed a game. Goulet trying to get his game in gear and get that vaunted scoring power of his going, and hasn't been much of a factor so far in the tournament, but of course the big games are coming. And one thing we know about Michel Goulet is he can unload on you, and he does it. When he does unload, it usually is in big numbers.
He's out there right now on left wing with Gretzky at center. Brent Sutter on right wing, number 21. They drop it back into Team Canada zone. Rochefort trying to flip it out of there. Got it to center. Sutter to Goulet, but hustling back and clearing it quickly out of there was Lubina. All the way down the ice. Rochefort back for the touch. It's icing against Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt, Canada.
Talking to the coach of Czechoslovakia, Jan Starcy, prior to the game, and he's saying, you know, you come over here and you have an immense disadvantage, and he listed a number of them, and he's right. This team doesn't seem to dwell on it too much. They almost feed on those disadvantages, use them to get themselves up for the game.
So far, no score. Chaika over to Horsheva. Shot into center ice, and now Sheva leaving it for Poshak. Poshak to Leva. Goulet just had him tied up enough, but he couldn't get a stick on it. Centered to Poshak, missed him. Now Chaika into Poshak. That's Goulet tying him up. Chaika pinching in from the point. Firing it around behind the net. Sheva centered. Oh, Poshak shoots, he scores! Dusan Poshak, and it's 1-0 for Czechoslovakia.
Well, they have the lead, and they have worked very hard to get this lead. They took a big early edge, a power play, got Canada back in the game. Goulet just saved a goal moments before. Poshak sets it up in front. This time the forward was not back there. Goulet allowed the man to elude him. Here comes the pass across in front. Goulet reaching, not able to corral Poshek the open side.
Poshek's 4th goal of this Canada Cup. Here's a loose puck. Claude Lemieux racing in, and Poshek came out and covered up on it. And we'll get a face-off, and Team Czechoslovakia is into the ring. Poshek from Liba and Sheva, 8:06 the time, 1-0 for Czechoslovakia.
Well, one thing they're doing, Dan, is they're really throwing the puck around, and they're working their patterns to perfection inside the Team Canada zone. So while everybody said Canada was going to improve in this tournament as it went along, obviously so is Czechoslovakia.
Here's Dolezal, got it into the zone. Hrdina carried in, but Volek was in ahead of the play and offside. So Czechoslovakia take the early lead, 1-0. And there is perhaps the best known of the future NHLers, Jerzy Hrdina, headed for the Calgary Flames.
He'll be the first one of this group to come to the National Hockey League right after the Olympics. He'll be joining the Calgary Flames. Some of the others won't be coming to North America until the start of the following season. Hrdina bringing his family over, as a matter of fact, for the Olympics, and then just staying on.
They tell me he was apartment hunting in Calgary when we were out there for the Canada Cup. Here's the loose puck. Dolezal shooting it into Team Canada zone. Rochefort back to get it, and Canada try and work it out of there. Here's Glenn Anderson to James Patrick. Patrick from Winnipeg, Manitoba, a member of the Rangers, trying to center it. Broken up and then called because of the puck being hit by a high stick. And we get a stoppage in play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Face-off coming up deep in Team Czechoslovakia's end of the rink. 11:13 left in the first period. Messier, Gartner, and Glenn Anderson now Canada's forward line. Here's Staviana. Very heady, good puck-handling defenseman for Czechoslovakia. But he copped it up there, but then as Anderson centered it, Czechoslovakia able to get possession again. And now they try and clear it up. Josko, number 12, gets it by Rochefort, and Patrick has it for Canada. To Rochefort, into center ice, intercepting is Boschik, or Klock, intercepted, and now a delayed penalty coming up against Canada. Here's Czechoslovakia centering it. Staviana lets Ruzicka take it. Shot blocked by Rochefort, and now the delayed penalty against Canada for tripping. And Czechoslovakia, with a 1-0 lead, now will also have a power play opportunity as Canada will be penalized.
Mike Gardner coming across the ice put the knee into a Czechoslovak player in the center ice zone. Kind of poked his legs out from underneath him. And that's the reason for the penalty. Canada starting to pick it up a little bit, starting to forecheck, and caused a couple of turnovers, something they hadn't been successfully able to do inside Czechoslovakian territory. Here it comes. Watch the top of your screen. Here, just threw the leg in underneath him, and right in front of Mike Noeth, who called it.
Czechoslovakia with the man advantage. They've had 5 goals and 23 opportunities in the power play, a 22% success rate. And here is Ruzicka firing it in. Pure out to play it around to Bork. Bork played it high off the glass, and down the ice it goes. Horsheva, number 4, back to pick it up. Quickly up the middle to Hrdina. Trying to hit Ruzicka. That's intercepted by Bork. Canada trailing and shorthanded at this point. Bork to Howardchuk. Missed him. Down the ice it goes. Horsheva back after it. Messier knocked him flying. Messier with a big hit. Oh, did he knock the Czech player Horsheva flying. Here's Ruzicka. His pass intercepted. And now it's dumped back in by Canada. 1 minute left in the penalty, and a 9.9 hit by Messier.
Whoa, the Czech of the tournament, without a doubt.
Dumped in by Czechoslovakia. And back comes Gretzky, leaving it for Rochefort. Rochefort. But Canada shorthanded, dropping it back, and Patrick fires it down the ice. Knocked down by Boschik. Gretzky tried to steal it. Now, here comes Poshek. number 21. Centers to Bolshik. Back to Pashek. Shot. Pure the save. Sheva after the rebound. Tried to center. Bolshik couldn't hold it in and has to hustle back after it. And then when he does fire it up, it's called back on a two-line offside.
Well, I can't believe that check that Messier threw on Horshova. He's tough, of course. We all know about Mark Messier. Going back now to pick it up as Horshova. Here comes Messier. Clean check. And Horshova did not know where he was when he was getting up. He completely disoriented. Looked the wrong way. Was trying to get straightened out. He went flying into the boards.
Let's see if that turns the tide Canada's way. They're trailing 1-0, still shorthanded. 15 seconds left in the penalty. Back for Czechoslovakia in their own zone. Sherban, number 7. Leaving it there. Now they drop it back under Dina. Drops it back deeper behind his own goal, and then they just fire it to center. Here's Bolak after it, but Pure away out of the net. Clears to Anderson. Now Herdina intercepting. Canada back at full strength. Here's Herdina, but Bork is there to knock it away. Now cleared on the boards. Messier lets Anderson take it, and Anderson fires it down the ice. Dolezal against Gartner. Gartner, another big, strong guy for Canada, up for checking. But Czechoslovakia break out. Here's Sherban, number 7, with a booming shot. Wide of the net. Larry Murphy poking it to Glenn Anderson. Dolezal knocks it back in. And then as he does, the play is offside at Team Canada's blue line.
Well, Glenn Anderson of the Edmonton Oilers, who had his problems early with injuries, just getting his game together right now. 30-plus goals each of his last 7 seasons. States there. Part of the 1980 Olympic team. Played for Blair Drake and Tom Watt. And there's Horshova heading for the dressing room. He's still trying to shake the cobwebs out.
With memories of Mark Messier still dancing in his head.
Stamped on his forehead, I think.
Puck shot in by Czechoslovakia or by Canada. Bolshik is there to try and clear it out. Block, number 27. Now they get it into center ice, and down left wing comes Kuchera, number 14. Claude Lemieux checks in to Mario Lemieux. Has Prop with him. Mario Lemieux shooting. Save made by Hasek. And then I think Mario's stick came up and caught Hasek, and he's shaken up on the play.
May have come up under his throat, and then Hasek went down as if he didn't have enough. Then he had Claude Lemieux fall all over the top of him. So it was just a rough ride as far as Dominic Hasek was concerned. Deceptive speed of Mario Lemieux. He seems to get the jump on the defense. Now up comes the stick. Down comes Lemieux and a Czechoslovak teammate. Get a better view of it here, perhaps. Watch him shield that puck. He protects it so well with that size of his. There's a reach looking for that loose puck. Now they all pile in.
Go to the net. They were going there.
Canada starting to pick it up a little bit. I think they came out in this game either nervous or flat. Whatever it was, they were in trouble through the first 10 minutes of the first period, but it looks a little better now than it did. They're trailing 1-0.
Here's Mario Lemieux to Prop. Back on the point. Backhanded pass by Larry Murphy. Claude Lemieux to Mario Lemieux, but Hasek knocks it away, and Sherban clears to center. Murphy for Canada to Paul Coffey. Back to Murphy. Just over 7 minutes left in the first period. Canada behind 1-0. Here's Stabiana, tied up by Brian Prop, but they're going to rule Stabiana touched the puck, and as a result, it's going to be icing against Canada.
Prop doesn't think it should be.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Sometimes I think the linesmen just call these plays because people are in the vicinity. Now watch the stick here, and there's Prop touching the puck, and the linesman then immediately blew it and said that was icing. Put it back down the other end of the ice. No wonder Prop was upset.
Canada winning the face-off, moving it to center ice. Gretzky checked by Chaika. Now over to Sheva, number 22. Czechoslovakia leading 1-0. They drop it for Bainock, number 9. Now into center ice, picked up by Leba. Here's Leba, number 11. Taken out nicely by Bork, and Howardchuk shoots it to center ice. Now Banach firing it back in. Bork back for Canada. Bork losing it. Here's Leva. Gets turned around looking for a man. They score! From the point. A blast by Banach, number 9. And it is 2-0. Actually, Chaika let it go, and it's 2-0 for Czechoslovakia. And Canada facing an uphill battle now.
Just a bad pass by Bork caused the turnover inside the zone. They set it up very quickly back to the blue line. And here it is, a low shot. Pure having to worry a little bit about the player that's positioning himself in front of the net. That's Sheba, number 22. And drawn off the angle just a little bit. He left that one side open. And 2-0. And Mike Keenan is going to have to look for some magic because it is going to be tough.
It was Banach, as we said, who scored the goal. They were congratulating Chaika. That's what confused us. But Banach gets the goal. It's 2-0 Czechoslovakia. Here's Serdina to Volek. He can't get it in front. Now does Czechoslovakia's Dolezal a shot. Patrick stops that, and it's quickly cleared into center ice. Here's Sherban to Volek. Rochefort tying him up, and Patrick has it for Canada. Rink wide for Glenn Anderson. Into center ice to Messier. Stabiana took him out, and Sherban, number 7, leaves it there. Stabiana cleared it to center ice. Here's Dolezal dropping it in. Stabiana carries up ice. Moves in, upended by Patrick, but dumped it in anyway. Rochefort for Canada. Out on right wing, and Gartner beats Glenn Anderson. Anderson to Messier, just couldn't handle the pass. Right back comes Kuchera, number 14. Leaving it for Flock. Flock in front. Tied up, and Murphy cleared it away in a hurry. Here's Anderson shooting it to center. Dumped back in. Yoshko races after it. And Compe takes Bure's pass. Now to Mario Lemieux. He's checked. Here's Kuchera to Flock. Flock to Kuchera. He was open but didn't get a stick on the ice. Yoshko taken out by Mario Lemieux, and now Murphy for Canada. Loses to Kuchera, number 14. Kuchera trying to center one. Claude Lemieux breaks out for Canada. Lemieux, number 32, but it's offside at the Team Czechoslovakia blue line.
The Labatt player of the game for Czechoslovakia will receive a set of 10 Olympic coins, compliments of Canadian Tire, an official supplier to the Calgary 1988 Olympic Winter Games, and a few dreams along the way. Canadian Tire.
The scoring play for Czechoslovakia to make it 2-0. Banach is second of the tournament. Leva and Sheba assisting. 13:41 the time, and a concerned Mike Keenan at the Team Canada bench.
Well, Canada has been loose in their own end. They've been this way through much of the tournament. Czechoslovakia really exploiting it, as they did in game 1, where the defense and the defensive style that Canada had set up. And I don't want to single out defense in this because it's a team effort. Led to a number of goals scored by Czechoslovakia.
Here's Canada with prop to Howardchuk, centered. Oh, and scooped wide by Claude Lemieux, and then he crashes into Hasek. And Hasek has had more hits against him in this game than I'm sure he sees in a season in his native land.
Yeah, they're piling into the goal mouth area in the offensive zone. Canada is trying to create something, just not clicking. Claude Lemieux going for the net. Here comes the pass by Howardchuk. Lemieux's right there. He had the right idea. He managed to elude the defenseman, Sherban. And then he deflected it just wide of the net.
2-0, 4:12 left in the first period. Shots on goal, by the way, are dead even at 9 apiece. Howardchuk. Now, just as we go to point out Canada's line, they make a change at the last second. Over the boards, Mario Lemieux with Goulet and Brent Sutter. Face-off deep in Czechoslovakia's end of the rink. Won by Poshek, but controlled by Canada. And then a good play by Sheba, but he couldn't get it out. Mario Lemieux to Goulet. Shooting Sutter, a poke at the rebound. Poshek able to stop that. And again, Canada crowding that Czechoslovakia goal crease.
And I think Hasek a little lucky on that one. He's shaking his head a bit too. He's got a deflection that I think hit him on the inside of the leg and dropped down between his legs. He just sat down on it. Good deflection on the play as Goulet picked up the puck. Number 16 getting it from Lemieux. Here comes the shot. That deflects in front of the net and just dropped down right in between the legs. Right idea again. Get in front of him. Stir it up a little bit. Put the pressure on him. Eventually maybe he'll work one past Hasek. But the one thing that Canada had to worry about in what in effect is a sudden death game is that guy right there. A hot goaltender.
Canada made a late change. That was allowed. And then Czechoslovakia tried to counter with a late change, but the referee, Mike Noah, say, no, sir.
Last change belongs to Team Canada here, the home team, this particular game.
Messier is going to be out there with Mario Lemieux and Gretzky. One thing about Team Canada, they're down 2-0, but they have some firepower to come back from a situation like this. I mean, you see a line on the ice such as Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Messier, you know what I mean.
There's a language problem here. Jan Starcy and his assistant coach, František Pospisil, neither speaks English. They speak German. That's how we managed to communicate with them prior to the game. Kind of halting German, may I say.
Here's Messier on a face-off to Gretzky. Now to Messier. Tied up behind the net. Messier getting his stick up against the man checking him, who is Chaika. And now Czechoslovakia carry out of there. Lead pass to Rochal. Bourque intercepts to Messier. He dumps it in for Mario Lemieux. Chaika there. Now Gretzky steals it. Gretzky in front. Put it right through the crease. Nobody could get a stick on it. And now Messier will get a penalty for pulling down Lubina from behind. And Canada's problems mount here. They trail 2-0, and now they're going to be shorthanded.
Messier behind the play, try to. That's the kind of penalty I just don't think the coach is really going to appreciate too much. In the offensive zone, player coming out, hooked from behind. Canada's not playing a smart hockey game here tonight. Right? Part of this could be the pressures we mentioned of sudden death, pressures of the way things have gone in the tournament. I think they're going to very much need that period between the first and second periods to regroup.
Doug Gilmour wins the face-off. He's out as a penalty killer along with Mike Gartner. Bainok, who got Team Czechoslovakia's second goal, firing it in front. Canada in there forechecking. Gilmour couldn't get it, and now back comes Czechoslovakia with Sheba, number 22. He's checked and fired away by Gartner for Canada. That up to Liba. Liba, a lead pass to Sheba. Sheba taken out by Rochefort, and Patrick is back after it. He fell down. Now trying to fire it, hits the referee. Czechoslovakia got it, but Gilmour broke that up, trying to clear it. Liba held it in. To Bainok, to Boschik. Fires around in the boards. Liba. Back on the point to Bainok. To Boschik. To Poshek, centered. Gilmour got a stick on it and deflected up into the crowd. 1:06 left in the penalty. 2:39 left in the period. 2-0 in favor of Czechoslovakia.
Poshek and Bainok picked up the goals, but on both of the goals, a combination of Liba and Sheba. They are the assistors on the two goals, and in both instances, they were the ones that created the turnover in the Team Canada zone that led to the goal. In the foreground there, talking to his defenseman, František Pospisil, who is a great defenseman for Czechoslovakia over a lot of years, and actually a member and the team captain of the first Czechoslovak team Canada Cup team back in 1976.
Here's Gretzky for Canada, breaking in. It's upended, no penalty called. Some of the fans thought one should have been. Canada still short-handed, but digging in there is Brent Sutter wrestling around with number 7, Sherban, and Sutter forces a face-off in Czechoslovakia's end of the ring.
Different Canada Cup for Brent Sutter. Remember the stardom of a terrific play of 1984. Forced to play on a wing when he's a centerman. He's just not the same hockey player when he's been misemployed through this tournament. Sutter and Sherban going up against the boards, battling for the puck. That's, of course, a familiar sight with a Sutter. You never get anything away from a Sutter easily.
Here's Hrdina, number 24. Here's Hrdina, back to Stabiana. Over to the other point to Sherban. Now into Dolajal. Back around behind the net, but taken by Canada and cleared out of there by Bork with 20 seconds left in the penalty. Here's Polak, number 19 for Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia still with 10 seconds worth of power play left. Lead pass to Ruzicka. Dropping it back for Lubina. Round to Ruzicka. Out in front. Comes to Bainock. Shoots one. That deflects. Knocked down by Bork. Penalized player Messier back on. Crossman trying to get it up for Messier, but it's intercepted. Rochelle clearing it back in, and Crossman back again for Canada. Now Claude Lemieux to Messier. Messier has Mario Lemieux with him. Messier shoots wide by about a foot. Comes to Coffey at the point. High off the glass with that drive. Mario Lemieux and Bainock battle. Now Messier to Mario Lemieux, put it in front, off the skate, and a breakaway pass for Ruzicka. Coffey gets back and tied him up. The speed of Coffey to come back from nowhere and catch Ruzicka. Now Mario Lemieux to Messier. Messier moves in. His shot blocked on a good defensive play by Bouchy. Claude Lemieux trying to center. And then it is Lubina working it out into center ice. Big defensive play moments ago by Coffey. And now the goaltender Hoshek is down on the ice, and he's been injured. And I didn't see what happened to him.
Now we're all following the puck as it was coming out of the zone. It would appear that something dumped Hoshek, and he's a little shaken up. And one of the trailers on that play was Claude Lemieux, and every time you see him trailing a play, you always suspect the worst. I don't know why we do that, but he seems to be all right. Oh, watch this now. Let's take a look at what happened. Watch Lemieux. We were right. Here he comes. And, oh, isn't that nice?
Well, it wasn't a knockout punch, but Hoshek has learned to do the job well.
That was the best shot.
Load is something else. Nobody saw it, including the referee. And I don't even think Hoshek felt very much of it because it was a glancing jab, to say the least. Here's Stabiana shooting it in. 28 seconds left in the period. Coffey back there for Canada. Canada trailing 2-0 as it's flipped by Murphy to Goulet. Here's Goulet cutting in. Goulet in front. And Hoshek slid across, made the save, and smothered it before Mario Lemieux could get a stick on it.
Hoshek is killing Team Canada. They have had all kinds of chances, and he has just been far, far too much for them to handle. Now here's Goulet trying to go to the forehand, but Lemieux is there as well. We got a quick whistle on this, but Lemieux actually poked it right in underneath, and whistle went right about that point. Again, Goulet trying to get that little edge, but a pretty good defensive play coming back on part of Sheba. And then loose puck lies there. Hoshek just covered up the goal mouth by sprawling.
15 seconds left in the period. Go ahead.
Start getting it up a little bit. I think they're kind of sliding it into Hoshek. He's been sprawling a lot more. He's used that butterfly. Tony Esposito, Yuri Halicek, who was a great goaltender for the Czechoslovakia. He's the one that he copied his style from. And there's Mario Lemieux.
Big Mario, the Pittsburgh Penguins star. Here's Coffey at the point. He was checked by Poshek, though, and then as it's dumped in by Canada, it's offside. 9 seconds left in the period. Meanwhile, forget about the saves that Poshek has made. How about the defensive play Coffey made to catch Ruzicka, who could have had a breakaway?
That was just a great play, and the only thing that saved that, I think, outside of Coffey's speed, was the fact that the puck was mishandled at center ice as it came out to center ice. Ruzicka trying to stay on side. Reminder, coming up at our first intermission, Mike Gardner is going to be around from Team Canada. We'll have highlights with Brad Park, the Toyota scoreboard, all of that in the first intermission with Dan Matheson.
Here's Leva with Poshek, 2-on-1 break. To Poshek, to Leva, just missed at the edge of the crease, and Mario Lemieux cleared it. And the first period comes to an end here at the Forum in Montreal. Canada outshoot Czechoslovakia 13-9, but 2 goals by Poshek and Bainok. And great goaltending by that man, Hoshek. Czechoslovakia with a 2-0 lead.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to solve the problem of Dominik Hasek the next 2 periods, and that's an uphill climb when you're down in international hockey 2-0.
Czechoslovakia 2.
"20 minutes gone at the Forum in Montreal. Canada trailing Czechoslovakia 2-0. Miroslav Horshova is the best defenseman on the Czechoslovakian team. He will not be back in this game. You may remember the body check Mark Messier laid on him. He has a damaged shoulder. That's all we know at this point, but we do know he will not be back. However, the way Dominik... Maybe they don't need defensemen. Is it Team Canada against a goalie right now?
Well, I would hate to think that, Dan. I think that certainly we would hate to have a goaltender beat us. We'll do all we can to try and put that puck past them. And I don't think really we've tested them all that much in this period. We came out very flat in that first period, and we can play much better hockey, and we better play better hockey than we did in that first.
Canada seems to have come out slowly in almost every game so far. Do you have a reason for that?
Well, I don't think there's never a reason, that's for sure. We might have a few explanations. I think that what happens when you get this many talented players together, we play only as good as we have to play. And unfortunately, that was the case in the first period. We played like that, and they were very prepared, and they took full advantage of our lack of enthusiasm and jumped out to a 2-0 lead. We just hope that we can recoup right now and get ourselves back into the game.
In your last outing against the Soviets, you had a gentleman by the name of Krutov on your hands. Are you looking at a containment role again tonight for yourself?
Well, I don't know. I think that what we were trying to do in that game is I was playing with Messier and Anderson, and he was playing our line against the Krutov line, and Krutov just happened to be on left wing. So I think that I just took it or assumed that it was my job to cover him, and I tried to do the best job that I could. And maybe we're doing the same tonight. We're playing against their #1 line, so hopefully we'll be able to shut them down.
You are yet another player who is in tonight's game with some kind of a nick or hurt, which maybe hasn't been talked about. It seems to me that Team Canada right now is a little more hurt and injured than a lot of people suspect.
Well, there's a lot of guys that are hurting, and obviously we don't want to let everybody know the extent of our injuries. I don't think that helps anybody out, especially with other teams in a one-game situation. They try and take advantage of that, but I think that there are guys playing.
You're saying don't ask me about your injury. Is that what you're saying? All right, let's get off that.
Roundabout way.
Okay,
anyway.
we got a second period and a third period to play. You're down by 2. What do you do differently?
Well, we certainly have to put a lot more pressure on them in the offensive zone. I don't think we were getting the puck in deep, and I think that was costing us. We weren't getting a lot of offensive opportunities. This time around, we definitely have to do that. We only have 2 periods of hockey left to go, and we have to start playing a lot more offensive.
You seem to be more effective, too. At least you get more chances when you play physically in the offensive zone.
Absolutely. I think there was maybe 3 good hits in that whole period, and we need to have maybe 2 or 3 good hits every shift. And I'm not trying to say that we're going to try and intimidate the Czechoslovakian team, but I think that we have to finish our checks as we do in every other game in the National Hockey League. You have to try and make a guy think twice next time he goes into the corner to pass that puck and make the good pass. If you hit him a few times, he's maybe not going to make that good pass.
You're not happy to be down 2-0. Are you pessimistic?
Oh, absolutely not. I think that we can win this game. We're going to win this game. You haven't seen the Team Canada that can play yet. Obviously in this game, maybe not in the tournament. So we have 2 periods to prove ourselves.
Mike, best luck to you.
Thank you.
Mike Gardner joining us. He says Canada's coming back. We will see shortly, but not before we talk with Sam Pollock, who fans of the Forum. 2-0 Czechoslovakia after 1 period of play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. This is a one-game playoff. The winner will meet the Soviets in the final of the Canada Cup 4th edition. Czechoslovakia in front 2-0. Sam Pollock joins us now, and he's watched thousands of hockey games in this building as the man who headed up the Montreal Canadiens for years and years. He has a couple of different hats he wears now as a director with John Labatt, one of the sponsors of our Canada Cup. Also, you're with Hockey Canada, Sam. After all those years of sitting and watching players for talent, for potential, can you sit in the stands like any fan and just enjoy a hockey game?
Well, I'm certainly not enjoying this game so far. I can tell you that. And, you know, I really hope we can get a spark and get a goal. The one good thing, we are getting some scoring chances. And if we get a goal, I think this game, you know, can turn around. When a team's in front 2-0, they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're moving the puck well. And their goaler has made some great saves. But we need a goal, and we need a spark to get us going.
You were saying just before we came on air that one of your fears was that the Canadians would be looking to the Soviets on Friday, past the Czechs a bit. Do you think maybe that is what happened?
Well, that's always a worry, you know, when you're running a hockey team, whether it's in a Stanley Cup playoff or it's in a Canada Cup type of series. There always has, I mean, you know, let's face it, the Canadian team and the Russian team are the two favorite teams, and I think that's something you always have to be nervous about, but it's not going to be a factor now. I mean, we got great hockey players. They know they're down at 2-0, they know what they have to do.
Tell us a little bit about your work with Hockey Canada now.
Well, I'm chairman of the International Olympic Committee, and it's an administrative role. It's a volunteer role. It's a chance to be associated with a lot of great people that I've known through the years, so I enjoy it very much.
Well, what exactly are you doing with the committee?
Well, as I said, we have about 18 people in Hockey Canada and 3 or 4 committees. I'm chairman of the International Olympic Committee, and we try to give direction and guidance to our staff, and we're very hopeful that we'll be able to put a competitive team on the ice in the 1988 Olympics.
Do you miss the National Hockey League?
Well,
you know, the Montreal Canadiens?
Well, you know, I spent most of my adult years in hockey, and you know, nothing's forever and nothing's never, and I've had a lot of great times and a lot of great thrills, and you know, I think the National Hockey League is the greatest league in the world, and I think it's greater now than it's ever been.
You know, there was a lot of upheavals in this building after you left. As you sit back and look at the job that the current regime is doing, you must be reasonably pleased with how your old Canadians are doing now? Well,
you know, the Canadians have always been a great team, and certainly...
well, they had years when they were just good.
Yeah, well, that's not, you know, when you look through it all, I think there's been a lot more good years than bad ones over a 60-year period. The last 2 years have certainly been very bright years here. A Stanley Cup 2 years ago, a semi-final last year. I think the Canadians have a real fine hockey club, and they're certainly one of the top clubs in the league, and they got a real shot at the Stanley Cup this year again.
Sam, thanks very much for being with us.
Nice to be with you.
Sam Pollock, we trail 2-0 to Czechoslovakia. This is a semi-final sudden death game. 40 minutes left to play at the Forum in Montreal. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Czechoslovakia 2, Canada 0. That's the score after one period in Montreal. Very obviously, Czechoslovakia is the one which has generated the offense, at least the ones that's counted, Brad Butt.
Well, looking at that period, you know, Sam Pollock was right. Canada was getting the scoring chances. The first 2 highlights that I want to show you are some good scoring chances, and the big fella, Mario Lemieux, instigated both of them. The first one we're going to look at is a good play by Michel Goulet here. Watch him keep the puck in, gives it up to Mario Lemieux. Now, Mario knows he's got a defenseman all over him. He feels him. He drops it back to Goulet, and Goulet makes a shot. Brent Sutter, the tip, but Hasek, the goaltender, has been outstanding in that period. The second highlight, and this is a quick turnover from offense to defense. The puck is moved up, catching the Czechs. Now here's Yashko chasing Lemieux. The talent of a player like Lemieux, watch, he'll feel the one slash, he'll feel the next one, and then he shoots. He waited twice till he knew where that stick was so he could get the shot off. Another save by Hasek.
Brad, you know, we were talking with Jan Starshey before tonight's game for about half an hour, coached the Czech team, and he was saying such great things about the Canadian team, and he was being so humble about his own players. He says, we're fortunate to be here. We'll be very fortunate to be even in the hockey game. I don't think his players believe that. I think his players are playing with confidence. They're attacking Canada the way they can.
They've taken advantage of Team Canada in their own end. Team Canada has not been sharp in their own end, and the next two highlights will give us a good inclination of that. You've got to look at the mistakes that they've been making. The first highlight, watch in the corner, Michel Goulet goes in, and he's in deep. Now, anytime you've got a forward in deep, it's not the centerman. He is responsible to stay in deep until the puck changes hands or there's a lull in the play. The puck goes behind the net. Watch Michel Goulet starts to go back to his position. And Brent Sutter, there's a changeover there. It's not a good changeover. And Pashek puts the puck on a goal mouth pass. Grant Fuhr had no chance. The second highlight, the same type of thing. The Czechs capitalize. Ray Bourque wheels around the net. He tries to thread the puck up the middle, and it hits the player in the leg. You know this play is an airmail. It comes back. Now watch Brent Sutter at the top of your screen now. He starts to come in, and the pass goes back out where he was, the one-timer, and just off the post inside just by Grant Fuhr's leg. So that transition, you only have a split second to make up your mind. Unfortunately, in those two instances, the guys made the wrong choice.
Do you think we're going to see a Team Canada which will play a little more physical in the second period?
I think you'll see them more physical in their end. They're getting a lot of good physicalness in the Czech end, but in their own end, what they have to do is take people out, stay with them, do their assignments right through until they get that turnover.
Canada with a defense that can skate and can score, but has been suspect at times defensively. 2-0 Czechoslovakia. Stay with us. We're almost set to start the second period. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
And our Toyota scoring summary brought to you by Toyota, makers of the economical fun to drive Tercel. Who could ask for anything more? Czechoslovakia getting 2 goals. Pashek at 8:06. Banach on a booming shot from the point at 13:41. Shots on goal. Canada had 13. Czechoslovakia 9. But it's an uphill battle for Canada now as they trail 2-0 going into period 2.
But Dan, I think it's an old cliche, but I have to bring it up again. The next goal is going to be very important in this hockey game. Czechoslovakia gets it, and it's 3-0. And then people will start to think about 1981 right in this very building in the deciding game of the Canada Cup. When the Soviet Union got a big early lead, Canada tried to open the game up, and the Soviet lead just kept getting bigger and bigger, and the final score was 8-1. So Canada must control, not give up those 2-on-1s. They don't want to get impatient, but they also need to get the next goal of this game.
Here's a new line combination. Gretzky with Claude Lemieux and Goulet, and Czechoslovakia immediately clear it in. Crossman's on defense with Bourque. Dolezal holding it in for Czechoslovakia. Canada clear it, and Banach, number 9, fires it over on the boards. Here's Crossman. Passes to Goulet. Wojcik, number 28, intercepting. To Hrdina. Hrdina to Dolezal. Firing it in. Hrdina back of the net, but Bourque is there. Around to Goulet. Now Goulet to Bourque. Headmanning to Claude Lemieux. He carried into the zone, but lost it on the check by Banach, who beats Bolek. Bolek, number 19, backhanding it in. Doug Crossman for Canada, number 2. Out to Gretzky. Long shot as he dumps it in. Sherban trying to clear it. Canada held it in, but here's Stabiana. Into center ice to Leva. Shooting, oh, and that was just wide. Good hard shot by Leva, who's been a going concern all night. Here's a loose puck. Messier racing in, and Hasek comes halfway to the blue line to sprawl and cover it up.
Well, there's Igor Leva from Kosice in Czechoslovakia. He's a Slovak. There are 3 on this team. Second appearance in the Canada Cup. He's a Calgary draft choice. Could join the Flames next year. That's the way they're talking anyway. That's next year, the 1988-89 season.
He's assisted on both of the Czech goals as well.
That didn't miss by much, Dan. You're right.
And that was Leva again who blasted that one.
Notice the slap shot. You don't see that often in international hockey. Czechoslovakia, they're one of the teams that have always used it.
Here's Canada with Murphy clearing it around on the boards. Messier in there. Czechoslovakia, Leva, number 11. Leva's pass out onto the wing. Sherban couldn't get it out, and now Staviana beating Leva. And Igor Leva carries to center. This pass too far for anyone. Mike Gartner back to get it, and that's icing. And then down in the corner, number 22, Sheba, getting into it with one of the Team Canada players. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Face off deep in Team Czechoslovakia's end. Mario Lemieux against Ruzicka on the face-off. Mario with Claude Lemieux and prop the forward line for Canada. Here's a drop pass back, broken up, and Ruzicka breaks out. Long shot. Muir setting it up for Rochefort, who's on defense with Patrick. Pass to James Patrick. Now to Mario Lemieux. Baynock intercepting that. Ahead on the wing for Rochal. Into Ruzicka. Drop pass back, and then as Lubina carries in, it's offside at Team Canada's blue line.
Dr. Jan Starcy, who had the team for Czechoslovakia back in the 70s. They try to rotate their coaches through the various Olympiads. So Ludi Bukac had the team. He's now coaching in Switzerland after giving up the team in 1985 after a World Championship. They turned over this team almost completely after that 85 World Championship victory. Only 8 players remaining now.
Canada clearing it in. Baynock back to touch it, and that's icing against Canada. This is the Labatt.
Dan, I get the impression that Team Canada hasn't learned very much in the intermission period. They're still having the problems that they had in the first period. One of them is just a lack of aggression. They just have to get at the puck a little more, and after the puck carrier.
Here's Claude Lemieux flipping it in for Prop. Chaika there. He gets it over for Lubina. Now Lubina trying to come out the other way. Coffey pinching in to Prop. To Mario Lemieux. Trying to center, but Rochal, number 10, is there. Claude Lemieux held it in. To Mario Lemieux. Centering pass, but Prop couldn't get near it. Puck back of Team Czechoslovakia's goal. Mario Lemieux there to hold it along with a couple of Team Czechoslovakia players. And we get a stoppage. Craig Hartsburg out on the ice right now with Paul Coffey. And he's been used sparingly so far tonight as Canada's gone with 7 defensemen in their lineup because of the injuries to Kevin Dineen and to Rick Tocchet up front.
And the roster, of course, when you're behind, gets narrowed down considerably as well as some of the grinders that are out there. Well, we're being seen in 15 countries. This one, all the way from Malaysia to Japan to Thailand, the U.S. Armed Forces all over the world. We welcome you in whatever language you're watching the hockey game. And we've got a full broadcast row here at the Montreal Forum.
Here's Sherban dropping one back in his own zone, and Staviana works it out on right wing for Yashko. Now to Kuchera, number 14. Kuchera to Sherban. Shot partially blocked by Brent Sutter. Yashko in the corner trying to work it in front. Now it comes onto the stick of Kuchera. Here's Sherban. Shoots one. That's up high. And Coffey has it for Canada. Coffey to Brent Sutter. To Gretzky, but Staviana there to break that up. Now here's Howardchuk for Canada. Cutting in. Howardchuk couldn't get it in front as Staviana took him out nicely. And now Flock, number 27, carries out for Czechoslovakia. Dvorak into the zone. Gretzky back checking, breaks it up. Here comes Howardchuk. Dale Howardchuk upended. Banach is there to take over. And Flock fell down. Howardchuk getting it. Dale Howardchuk centered right in front of the net. Now Bork into the corner. Intercepting. Czechoslovakia can't clear it. Shot by Bork. Turned aside with a stick save. Bork again at the point. Held it in. Raymond Bork to Sutter. Into Gretzky. Trying to get it back to Sutter, but Bolak intercepts. To Hrdina. Number 24, Hrdina. Dropping it to Bolak. Back to Hrdina. Crossman tied him up. And here's Bork. Now fired down the ice by Howardchuk. Hasek cleared it. Here's Messier getting it in front, and Boshik is there. And he quickly fires it out of there. Crossman back for Canada. Cleared to center. Hasek intercepting. Czechoslovakia making Canada look bad at times here with their checking. Here's Bork shooting it in. Hasek sets it up for Sherban. Now Bork held it in. His shot blocked from the point. Messier can't get control. Now stolen. Chance for Canada by Goulet, but his shot blocked by Stabiana. Now Stabiana to Liba. And Liba spun around, and we'll get a penalty here to Glenn Anderson of Canada. We're holding. And Canada runs into more problems right now. They'll be short-handed. This is the Labatt Canada.
Well, maybe 2 minutes for trying too hard. Anderson deep inside the zone. Seemed to get a little overexcited on the play up against the boards and just trying to force a turnover in the zone for Goulet and drew the penalty.
Czechoslovakia 0 for 2 at the man advantage in this game. Here's Doug Gilmour for St. Louis. He's checked. Now Banach gets it. Here's Ruzicka for Czechoslovakia. Moving in, Ruzicka trying to drop it back to Chaika at the point. In on the boards for Rasho. Back to Chaika. And it's cleared by Canada as Bork down the ice. Gretzky heads for the bench. Canada changing on the fly. Banach into center ice for Ruzicka. Into Rasho. Now over to Flock. And Mike Gartner intercepts. Gartner couldn't get it out of there. Banach held it in. Into Flock, side of the net. Chance for Czechoslovakia. Comes to Banach. Shoots one off the stick of Gartner. And up over the glass. 1:07 left in Team Canada's penalty to Glenn Anderson.
One of the things that Brad Park pointed out as we're looking, Mike Gartner is doing a terrific job defensively in this game. One of the things that Brad Park pointed out in the Swedish game was the fact that Sweden was not trying to beat a man. As they were coming out of the zone to overload his zone. One thing Czechoslovakia is doing is they're doing a lot of that. They're handling the puck, beating the guy, and then trying to feed the puck ahead. Working for them very well.
Here's the line of Hasek, Liba, and Sheba. They've accounted for both goals. Here's Hasek trying to feed it in. Sheba, number 22, back to Hasek. Now on the point to Stabiana. Return to Hasek. Hasek shoots. That's right through the goal crease. Sheba just missed with the deflection try. Now Stabiana to Hasek. Fjord to his knees to make a stick save. Messier can't clear it out. Gartner does get it, and there's Messier with only Sherban back. Messier trying to go wide on Sherban, got it in front, but Liba was there defensively, and Liba has been all over the place for Czechoslovakia, offensively and defensively. Here's Liba on offense, but Murphy, a diving poke check to break it up, and then Murphy clears. Here's Messier. Has Gartner with him, pass to Gartner, over top of the net with that shot. And Liba clears it for Czechoslovakia. Now the penalty expiring to Anderson for Canada. Canada back at full strength, but trailing 2-0. Sherban leaving it for number 15, Dolejo. Now Stabiana loses to Brent Sutter. Sutter for Canada out in front. Hasek the save, and he held on to it. Hasek diving across, and then Stabiana gets a headlock on one of the Team Canada players, Brent Sutter in the crease. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Been all over the ice. Great play here to prevent a problem by Larry Murphy. Murphy then follows up, picks up the puck, fires it off the boards, and we've got a 2-on-1. As this time it's a Canadian that beats a man. Feeds it over. But for Mike Gartner looking for that top corner, just couldn't find it. Been that way all night for Team Canada.
Here's Mario Lemieux with Drop and Claude Lemieux. Mario Lemieux back to the net. Mario Lemieux out in front. Shot off a skate as it hit Claude Lemieux. Back to Coffey. Shooting. That deflection went just wide. Drop into the corner. To Mario Lemieux to Prop. Misses him. Murphy a drive. And a save by Hasek into his midsection. And then Claude Lemieux gets knocked down at the side of the net.
Two great chances as Canada starting to throw it around a little bit inside the zone. First Coffey and then Murphy. So the point men getting the shots. Here comes the shot. That one is Murphy's. just deflects wide. And not by very much. That one deflected right into Hasek's pad. That was Murphy's shot. Coffey's the one that deflected just wide. So the defenseman getting good shots with men in front, and that's something we haven't seen an awful lot of in this hockey game so far for Canada. They're starting to penetrate a little bit, wreak a little havoc in front of Hasek, make life a little uncomfortable. We've got double penalty going off here. Two players have been called.
Claude Lemieux, meanwhile, is out on the ice, still trying to cause some havoc. He's not the man in the penalty box. He's out on the ice.
That noise you hear, by the way, Dan, is the score in the baseball game. Expos are leading 7-2 in the 5th inning. All right, here's the stuff in front of the net. And that first play knocked, and then the prop threw a cross-check. So Lemieux got hammered. Something happens to him quite a bit. So Boschik and Trop are off.
Roughing to Boschik, cross-checking against Trop. Each team a man short. Here's Canada with Gretzky trying to center one. Comes back near the blue line. And Mario Lemieux had it. Staviana checked him. Works it ahead to Kuchera. But Czechoslovakia go offside at the Team Canada blue line.
Normally this would be an ideal situation for this particular group of players for Team Canada. You've got Lemieux and Gretzky and Coffey out there, and Murphy, who can move the puck pretty well as well, except for one thing. Czechoslovakia has got equal speed. It's difficult to get loose on these guys.
Here's number 7, Sherban, back for Czechoslovakia. Each team a man short. Sherban able to clear it. Mario Lemieux giving it to Paul Coffey. Coffey now to Murphy. Off the boards to Mario Lemieux to Gretzky, but Staviana picked that up to Kuchera. Kuchera trying to work in on Murphy. And Kuchera goes all the way back into center ice to Staviana. Now Mario Lemieux ended up knocking him down. Kuchera quickly cleared it into center ice. Murphy knocks it down. Mario Lemieux is checked, and here's Flock, number 27. His pass for Kuchera. Dropping it to Staviana. Leaving it for Benoit. Czechoslovakia doing a lot of circling. Not very anxious to move it out of there unless they have a clear path, and here comes Poshek. Number 21. Poshek shoots off the blocker or shoulder of Pure on a real rocket. Now Gretzky for Canada. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Gretzky to Messier, and Messier dragged the puck in offside behind him. This is the Labatt Canada.
If you think there isn't a grapevine in hockey, I can tell you there is. Czechoslovakia very much aware of what a 4-on-4 situation is like when Wayne Gretzky's on the ice, and they played it almost like a penalty situation.
They circled, they kept giving up ice, dropping back. Now 29 seconds left in the penalties. Here's Bourque into Messier. He's checked, and Hrdina feeds Dolezal, number 15. Dolezal feeding it in. Now Chaika trying to drop it back. Baynock at the point. Held it in, and Bourque has it for Canada. Around to Crossman. 3 seconds left in the penalties. 2-0 Czechoslovakia. Bourque at center ice. Now Canada on the attack as Anderson gets upended at the Czech defense. Hrdina going back with a loose puck. Hrdina lost it, and Hasek had to grab it at the side of his net and held it for a face-off. We've passed the midway point in regulation time. 9:59 left in the second period.
Nice play made right out of the penalty box there by Prop that kind of set the stage for the flurry around the net. Reminder, the Labatt player of the game for Canada will receive the new Canon EOS autofocus that never misses. Stop the game with the only autofocus camera quick enough to capture all the action. The Canon EOS, the official 35mm camera of the 1988 Olympic Winter Games.
Here's a new line combination for Canada. Howard Chuck centering for Goulet on one wing. Claude Lemieux on the other. And there's the defenseman Bolshik at the Team Czechoslovakia bench. Claude Lemieux out in front, shoots one. Saved by Hasek and a big rebound, but nobody there to get it. And Ruzicka comes back for Czechoslovakia. Cuts in, skate save, pure. And then Murphy cleared it away in a hurry. Rounding the boards to Goulet. Goulet check. Now into the corner after it, Ruzicka. Here's Ruzicka. Check. Stabiana held it in, but now Goulet to Howardchuk. Trying to tip it to Claude Lemieux, knocked away. Murphy getting it in across the line to Howardchuk. Shooting score! Dale Howardchuk! Want to see some skills? How about this now? Howardchuk will have to kick this one up in front, get set, and then let the screen shot go that deflected off the defenseman and into the net as Sherban got in the way of it just enough. And Canada got that all-important goal. Sherban straightened up on the play, and it got his stick. Hasek had no chance. And Dale Howardchuk has put Canada on the board. Maybe the next one will come a little easier for Canada. Here's Bolshik moving in with a long shot. And Fuhr the same, and Canada quickly clear it out of there. Howardchuk from Murphy, the scoring play. Hasek clearing it around in the boards. Bourque held it in. Now stolen by Canada out in front. Anderson shooting. He scores! No goal! No goal, says the referee, Mike Noah. I don't know why. I don't know why we have no goal. Now, Anderson got it in front, and he chipped it up in the air. It just bounced around in midair. Here it comes. And now Hasek reaches up, and he's controlling it, trying to control it, and he never did get a hold. Now, why is there no goal? That's the $64,000 question. Noah, who was strongly criticized by the Soviets for
That
what they
dreadful
felt
performance
was
the other night.
a performance that cost them a win against Team Canada, calls this one back. What did he say? The whistle had gone?
Well, if he lost sight of this puck, I don't know where. It never was covered up. There's nobody in the crease.
No goal, however. And Czechoslovakia still lead 2-1. Lead pass into center ice. Knocked down by Crossman. And then the puck flips up over the boards. Team Czechoslovakia's players met.
Dan, I have to speculate that Noah felt he lost sight of the puck. That's the only thing that could have been called in that area. The moment a referee loses sight of the puck, he must call it dead. Kind of a tough call to have to make in those circumstances. But if he felt that Hasek had covered it up, or he, you know, it's a protection for the goaltender and as much as anything else, that people don't come piling in there. And I noticed there was not much of an argument from Team Canada. They didn't really pursue it too much, so the explanation apparently was accepted.
Here's Mario Lemieux in the clear. He scores! Mario Lemieux!
Never see a centerman throw a changeup? Here comes one. Just a soft shot. It wasn't a blistering shot at all. But he sure picked the corner. Nice backhand pass from Goulet. Here he comes. That would not go through the net. He wasn't trying to bury it. He was looking for the spot, and he put it right there.
That's one count. Mario Lemieux, sixth goal of this Canada Cup. 11:25 to time. Canada 2, Czechoslovakia 2. Here's Gretzky now for Canada. But he was well checked, and Dolezal drops it back into his own zone to Bainok, who circles to get away from Propp. Now Dolezal trying to flip it up. That's Sutter in for checking. Crossman knocks it off the boards, and Vanak comes to center. Sutter intercepts that, and Bork around to Crossman into center ice, flipped up over the boards at the Team Canada players bench. 2-2 the score. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on seats play. Mario Lemieux from Goulet, 11:25 the time. Mario's 6th goal of the Canada Cup. He leads all snipers in that category, and here comes Canada again. Goulet to Lemieux, back to Mario Lemieux, but broken up by Ruzicka. Claude Lemieux held it in, but Sherban is there. Rink wide across the crease, and then cleared out by Czechoslovakia to Rochal. He fires it in. Ruzicka is there. Now Lubina with a chance, but he gets knocked off the puck. And Goulet headmanning it to Claude Lemieux to Mario Lemieux. Big Mario, number 66, puts it in front. Now Sutter gets knocked down by Lubina, or Claude Lemieux it is that gets knocked down, and Lubina will get a penalty. And Claude Lemieux does a little lip as he goes to the bench.
Yeah, he'll sit there in some more pain and agony, but well, I'll tell you, he takes a beating. And that one, I think, hurt him pretty good. Watch the play, right? Lubina is the man right there. As he turned around, he took a cross check, an elbow, whatever it is, and it seemed to twist his knee. So he's in a great deal of pain on the bench. There's the scoring leaders, and Mario Lemieux's name front and center as he scores his 6th goal. He's the tournament leader, ahead of Krutov and Makarov. And the penalty right there. Lubina off for cross-checking. 12:34. So Canada coming from behind 2-0 deficit.
Here's Coffey, shoots! That went off the goaltender and ricocheted into the corner. Hasek got a piece of it, and then I'm not sure if it went off the post or what, but it went into the opposite corner, and then it's held there.
A little conversation at the net between Vanak and Hasek. Hasek is a young goaltender, just 22 years of age. This is his 2nd Canada Cup. Here's the shot by Coffey. That deflected, and it deflected up. Hasek doesn't know where it is. Need to come off a stick in front and then off Hasek's stick.
Canada on the power play. They're 0 for 1 with the man advantage tonight. And in the tournament with the best power play percentage, 6 for 23. Here's Messier. Couldn't get around Bonak, and now it's Coffey into Gretzky. In on left wing to Bork. Mario Lemieux shoots. He scores! Mario Lemieux! Canada has the lead for the first time.
Just a little drop pass. Here's Bork. Lemieux going for the net. Doesn't take much to score. Just have to get your stick on it and redirect. He scores them all ways. And it's 3-2 on 2 straight goals by Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux from Gretzky and Bork. 13:08 the time, a power play goal. 3 goals in a row by Canada, and Mario's 2nd of this game, is 7th of this tournament. Canada with a 3-2 lead. Block in there being forechecked hard by Canada. Now Glenn Anderson couldn't center, and it's fired out into center ice and knocked down by Crossman at Canada's blue line. Now to Howard-Chuck. He moves in. Hasek out of the net to smother that. And we get a stoppage in play.
Fans aren't happy with the way Howard-Chuck was manhandled as he came in over the line, interfered with from behind. 3 goals in 3 minutes and 35 seconds, Dan, that brought Canada from a 2-0 deficit.
Actually 4, but they didn't go one.
Yeah, that's right. Here it is. And there is Howard-Chuck being hauled down, and Hasek out of the net to cover up.
Howard-Chuck, as we mentioned earlier, suffered a partially separated shoulder.
That's one story.
The Soviets the other night.
I also got the story, and nobody's really admitting it around the Team Canada dressing room, that it was dislocated, and they had to put it back in place at the end of the first period the other night, and he finished the game.
3-2, Canada leading.
I put that to Mike Keenan. Keenan says, well, sometimes these guys want to play so much they don't even tell their coach.
Here is Gartner for Canada. Battling on the boards, but Czechoslovakia come up with it, and Liba gives it to Pashek. Number 21, Pashek. Feeds into Liba. Here's Liba for Czechoslovakia. Liba still with the puck. Liba still has it. And now Mario Lemieux gets it and gets it out of the zone. Brian Propp, number 26 for Canada. Shot into center to Gartner. Knocked away from him. And picked up by Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky moving in, centered. And a big save there by Hasek on Propp as Gretzky set him up at the edge of the crease. Hasek into center ice, and then it's dumped in by Czechoslovakia. Less than 6 minutes left in the second period. Here's Murphy for Canada. Flipping it in, Sutter digs in. Sherban there, Sutter in to try and force the play. Sutter had it for the moment. Now Crossman, his shot blocked by Staviana. And Staviana trying to work it out of there. Goulet held it in. And then on the second try, Czechoslovakia do clear it. 3-2, Canada leading. Canada trailed at one point, 2-0. Here's Lubina whacking it off the board for Ruzicka. He's checked, and Crossman shoots from the point off Gretzky's skate. Gretzky picks it up near the blue line. Spun away from a check. Now Ruzicka on a breakaway outlet pass that he couldn't control. Crossman to Bork. Bork firing it down into Czechoslovakia's end of the ring. Boshik is there. For Rochal, now to Hrdina. Here's Hrdina flipping it in, and Bork is back for Canada. Boshik firing it in. Crossman knocks that down. Crossman clears to center. Boshik carrying back into Hrdina. Hrdina shoots. That's just wide in the short side. And Anderson gets it to Messier. Into center ice to Crossman. Crossman dumps it down, and Dolezal loses to Howardchuk. Quickly centered. Nobody in front of the net. Patrick at the point for Canada. In behind the goal for Howardchuk. To Glenn Anderson. Anderson and his shot blocked. Pokes it into the corner. And then it's shot out of there by Czechoslovakia. Under pressure. Pure plays it, so there's no icing. They try and catch Czechoslovakia on a change. Here comes Messier. Leaving it to Anderson. Back to Messier in. Backhander just wide. Heads up play by Fuhr to play the puck and give Canada a break on a line change by Czechoslovakia. Here's Anderson into the corner. And Anderson gets knocked off the puck. Sherban trying to clear it. Held in by Rochefort. Now Sherban, number 7. Leaving it for Chaika, now to Kuchera. Mario Lemieux checks into Propp. And Brian Propp has to spin. Into Gartner. To Mario Lemieux. Back to Gartner, but Chaika broke it up. Propp is there to clear it. Here's Mario Lemieux. Lemieux in the corner. Mario Lemieux out in front. And he gets upended on the play by Sheva. And a stoppage in play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
I think Mario Lemieux affected by that check. He's the one out in front of the net. He goes into the corner. He just started to work his way out and was upended. Here he comes. And in so doing, he just seemed to become winded, and he's been kind of trying to shake it off at the face-off circle over the last minute or so.
Meanwhile, Claude Lemieux hasn't played since he was spun around on an earlier play in this period and seemed to twist his left knee. He has not reappeared. Here's the face-off. Pashek against Mario Lemieux. Lemieux winning the draw, but Sheba, number 22, gets it into center ice to Liba. Liba to Pashek. Bork breaks that up. Here's Kropp trying to clear it. Now Mike Gartner. To Lemieux. Lemieux couldn't get it in front this time, and Poshek, number 21, to Bainock. Into center ice to Liba, back to Poshek. Poshek for Czechoslovakia. Shooting one, blocked by Bork, and Gretzky breaks up. Gretzky in around the defense, but Staviana just got enough of the puck to knock it away from Gretzky, and then Gretzky fell for a loop. There's Bainock, number 9, to Herdina. Shoots wide by a couple of feet. Goulet for Canada. Quick clearing pass. Shervon back to get it. Got it into center ice. Less than 2 minutes to play in the second period. Bulak in across the line. Centers in front. Herdina wide open, but backhanded and wide. And that's one of the few chances Czechoslovakia has had here in this period. Back is Brent Sutter. Sutter. Poshek out of the net to clear it. Canada trying to send in some forecheckers, but it's quickly shot to center. Patrick for Canada to Gretzky. Dolezal intercepting. Back to Herdina. And Gretzky cleared the zone. Bainock beats a man. Stick handles across center and then dumps it in. Pure leaving it for Patrick. Patrick to Anderson. Now dumped in by Canada. Howard chucked in Anderson. He shoots, he scores! Barely no. Hasek had it. The red light came on, though, and went off.
What a play.
Very quickly.
What a play. Messier was flying as he came in over the blue line, and I think he just froze the defense. And Noah is talking to the goal judge, but I don't think the puck went into the net. The red light came on, and then he shut it off right away. Watch this. Puck is cleared in. That's Messier. He'll just throw it out to his teammate. Hasek is right there and controlled it.
Definitely no goal, just a quick red light.
The second time in the period where Messier and Anderson have really clicked. As well they should, being teammates and being very productive teammates in Edmonton.
Face-off with 59 seconds left in the second period. Will be deep in Team Czechoslovakia's end. Messier, Howard, Chuck, and Anderson up front for Canada.
Shots on goal in the period, 11-4 for Canada. They almost like Canada decided to start the dance at the 10-minute mark of the second period. Passed up the first half of the game.
Here's Poshek against Messier. Now Howard Chuck in the corner. Round on the boards. Bainock is there. Flips it up the middle to Poshek. Leaving it for Liba. Liba returns to Poshek. Now Bainock at the point. That shot hit Bork and bounced to the corner. Messier to Bork. Bork losing it, gets it again. Here's Anderson to Howard Chuck at center. Bainock tied him up, and Canada breakaway. 3-on-1 break. Anderson to Messier to Howard Chuck. Never got the shot up. Tried to center. Howard Chuck again. Getting it in front. But Czechoslovakia with 15 seconds left. Break back. Liba poke check by Bork. Now Staviana loses to Glenn Anderson. Shot in by Czechoslovakia. Here's Crossman with 5 seconds left. Dumping it down. Poshek leads it for Dolezal. And the second period it is over. A 3-goal second period for Canada. Howard Chuck and Mario Lemieux with a pair behind that man, Poshek, and Canada has the lead 3-2.
11-5 the shots on goal. Canada in the period, and they lead overall 24-14. It's a great period for Team Canada.
A tremendous period by Team Canada after they'd fallen behind 2-0 in the first.
Czechoslovakia scored the only 2 goals of the first period. Canada scored 4 times in the second, only 3 counted. Canada leads by 1 as we get set for the final period. We have a whole flock of people in our studio right now. We're joined by Jussi Hrdina, wears number 24, the red uniform of Czechoslovakia. He will also wear this uniform in Calgary during the Olympics next year, and then with the Calgary Flames. We are also joined by Miro Wojciech. Did I get the right name, last name right, Miro?
Correct.
He's with the management team for Team Czechoslovakia. He'll help translate for Jerzy. Big difference between the first period and the second period. What were the differences?
Velký rozdíl mezi první a druhou třetinou, v čem byl ten hlavní rozdíl?
No, já si myslím, že v první třetině jsme měli dost šancí a v té druhé jsme už spíš jako bránili výsledek a to, že nás dostalo pod dost velký tlak.
Usually seems that the first period we created many good chances and scored the goals, and during the second period we played more defensively, which put us actually under the pressure from the Canadian team, and we had more shots on the goal and scored more goals.
Czechoslovakia traditionally plays terrific in one game and then not so well the next game. We're seeing maybe a transition within a game. What happens to this team when it plays so well and then doesn't play so well? What is happening?
No, tak já si myslím, že zápasy se Sověty, že jsme se dost brzo dostali jako branky a to, že nás jako dost položilo, že se Sověty se nedá hrát, když prohráváte 2 nebo 3-0.
Jiří was talking now about the game against the Soviet Union, that they scored the first period, they scored very easily goals, and the same happened to us. We got under really big pressure, and once you get behind the Soviet team, so there is no way to play them.
How do you play against Canada when you're behind?
Jak hrajeme Kanadu, když prohráváme?
No tak teď se budeme určitě snažit nastřelovat nějakou kotouče a dostat kanadský obránce pod tlak a zkusit střelit nějakou branku.
We will try now to dump the puck in and to chase it and to create more chances, more shots on the goal.
Let me ask you about what's going to happen next year. You're moving to Calgary, you'll be playing in the NHL. Are you excited about that idea?
Příští rok jdeš do Calgary Flames, jako jestli začím jako zrušený nebo nadšený.
No tak těším se na to, bude to pro mě jako jednak životní změna, ale i změna hokejového stylu a těším se na ty zápasy.
He's really looking forward to join the Calgary Flames. He thinks that will be a big change in his lifestyle as well as in his style of hockey style, but he's looking forward to those two changes.
What do you think will be the easiest adjustments in the hockey, not your lifestyle, but on the ice, the easiest adjustments for you to make and the toughest?
Co bude nejrychlejší přizpůsobení se té hře a co bude nejtěžší, v čem se nejlíp přizpůsobíš a v čem se nejlíp přizpůsobíš ve hře?
No, já si myslím, že jsem celkem slušný bruslař, takže po té stránce fyzický si myslím, že mi to jako nebude dělat problémy, ale trošku si budu muset zvyknout na to, že budu mít místa na tom menším hřišti.
He thinks that he's a good skater, so he thinks that won't be too much trouble for him. But at the same time, he thinks that the size of the rink will have a little bit less space to move around, and so that will be very likely the main adjustment.
Well, he'll also play in the Smythe division, so we'll get to see Wayne Gretzky a lot next year, too. Jerzy, thank you very much. Best luck the rest of the way. 20 minutes of hockey left. Canada now in front by a goal. We'll be back in a moment on CTV. Dominic Hasek was dominant in the first period, but Team Canada has certainly started to penetrate in this hockey game, now leading 3-2. A couple of goals by Mario Lemieux. Team playing tonight without a couple of right wingers, a couple of guys who get the job done along the boards and the corners, one of whom is Kevin Dineen, and he joins us now, the other being Rick Tocchet. Kevin, first let's ask you about the injury.
Well, it's come along a little bit slow than I expected, but it's the kind of thing, those ankles are a little bit of a pain, so you just take it day by day, and it feels a little better now.
When we left you on Saturday, you expressed a lot of optimism you'd be playing by tonight.
Well, I was shooting, now I'm shooting for Friday, and, you know, go from there.
Friday's not out of the question, I take it.
No, just, like I said, day by day, and hopefully we'll be back in the lineup, and I don't know how seriously Claude is hurt, but our right side's definitely hurting a bit.
What's your perspective on this hockey game? How have you seen it?
Well, I thought the Czechs came out flying in the first period, and I think you have to give them credit. They're a heck of a team, and kind of caught us flat-footed, and they came out, and you know, we had some good scoring opportunities, but like you said, their goaltender came up big, and I think in the second period, the boys just said, hey, we got to go out and do it, and I think they took it to them right from the beginning, and fortunately, we got that first one, and it seems once you get that one, it carries over from there, and that's what happened. We got the next two fairly quickly, so I think we're headed in the right direction now.
Is it a concern in this hockey team? You haven't lost a game. That's the plus side. On the other side, you've got so many great shooters, so much talent, and yet the offense must be a little bit of a concern. Only once have you scored as many as 5 goals in a hockey game, that against Sweden. In the other games, it's been 3 or 4, and just by winning by 1?
Well, I think that's it's tough when you got a guy like Wayne Gretzky on there and you know, Mario Lemieux. I think it's tough to criticize your offense at all. I think you know, the offensive talent is there, but I think we got to make sure we play tight defensively, because from here on in, there's certainly not going to be any blowouts. So you just go out there and you try to play both ways, and I think we might have been giving it up a little bit trying to play too defensively, but you know, in that second period we
Well, of course, you know what Mike Keenan talks about all the time. Defensive posture, defensive posture. Do you think he's finally drummed that into the heads?
I think so. He reminds me a bit of Dave King playing for him. Yeah, they like the defensive part of the game, and that's how he's been successful in Philly. And I thought it would be successful here, and I think, you know, we haven't lost a game yet. So I think we're in the driver's seat right now, and I wouldn't mind having one more goal on the scoreboard here.
You don't expect Canada to lay back, do you?
I don't think so.
Defensively, or are they just going to keep coming now?
No, I think, geez, that's the way we're going to have to play like we did in that period. Just keep going at them, and once you get these teams down a few goals, they tend to let up. So if we can get that next one, I think the Czechs are going to kind of see the writing on the wall, and that's my experience in international hockey. So I think the next goal is really important.
Yeah, their goaltender's pretty impressive, isn't he?
He really is. He's a heck of a goaltender. He's a great stand-up goaltender, but you know, we just got to him there, and I think if we can get a guy in front and get those point shots through, you know, we're going to be pretty successful.
Look forward to seeing you play on Friday night.
Okay, hope to be back.
Coming to me. Team Canada now in front, leading Czechoslovakia 3-2. It's a one-game playoff. The winner tonight will meet the Soviets. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Canada with 3 goals in the second period has now taken the lead in this hockey game. Czechoslovakia played very tight defensively in the first period. Canadians certainly had their opportunities, but they had more and more as the game went on, and seemed finally not only to penetrate the defensive shell, Brad Clark, but also to get to the net. They got the puck and the player at the net at the same time.
Definitely, and I think you know, Team Canada was doing that in the first period too. They were going out and they were attacking. They were getting their chances. In the second period, the Czechs seemed to fall off, and I'll tell you, the telltale sign was the 4-on-4, and that's going to be our first highlight. The Czechs, it was a 4-on-4. Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky are on the ice. The Czechs have the puck, and all I can say is they tried to kill the 4-on-4. They did not want Gretzky and Lemieux to handle the puck. Back they go, back to the defenseman, move the puck back. Let's keep the puck away from Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. Very simple strategy, good strategy, but that's the start of being a negative and going into a shell. From then on, we're going to go to our next highlight, and it's going to be a great goal. We're going to look at Dale Hawerchuk, and it gets a break. Hasek has problems. He can't stop a deflection. Dale Hawerchuk taking the puck from Murphy. Now watch the deflection off the defenseman Sherbin, and by Hasek high on the shoulder, left side. A good break for Team Canada. Now that started the ball rolling. Now we get tight, and now we get going. Watch Goulet here. He'll end up stealing the puck. Lemieux picks up, he bobbles. Now watch the quick pass to Lemieux. Watch the 1, 2, 3, 4 strides. He's in, he coasts off the crossbar, off the post. No chance for Hasek. If that's not a tough enough problem for the Czech goaltender, Team Canada goes on the power play. We're going to have a look right now. Wayne Gretzky, the quick pass to Bork. The pass from Bork is the key. He airmails it. He puts it over the Czech stick. Up it goes. Mario Lemieux deflects it off the post. How the heck is Hasek going to stop those kind of goals? It isn't going to happen. The last highlight, I love this. It's one-on-one. When do you ever see Wayne Gretzky decide to beat somebody one-on-one? Go left, go right, go back left. Come on around. Everything gets through except the puck. I love that kind of individual effort.
Do you think that it appears as if the Czechs have been playing stonewall defense, but as soon as that first one went in, it was almost as if they wilted and they thought, uh-oh.
I think that they went into a shell just consciously. You've got 2 goals up on a team that's supposed to beat you. Okay, boys, let's play kitty by the door. Now the first goal goes in for Canada. The guys on the far side of the rink get pumped. They're ready to go, and they go right after the Czechs, and they get 2 great goals, off a crossbar and off a post.
A lot of coaches in hockey tell you the worst lead is 2 goals. Especially
3 goals hasn't worked out sometimes, too.
Well, it's 3-2 right now with the third period yet to come. Canada leads Czechoslovakia. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
3 goals in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Highlights our Toyota scoring summary. Brought to you by Toyota, makers of the racy Celica GTS. Who could ask for anything more? Howard Chuck started it at 10:43. Then the Mario Lemieux show back on parade. 11:25 for Mario, and then again at 13:08 for the big Pittsburgh Penguin center. His 6th and 7th goals of this tournament, more than any other player. Canada outshooting Czechoslovakia in that period, 11-5, and in the game to this point, 24-14. A lot of people wondered about Mario Lemieux. I don't think there's much wonderment after anyone has seen him in action here in this tournament, and I really wonder why there was any questioning of Mario anyway.
Well, it comes up at times that he's not there every night, but Serge Savard said something after the Swedish game. He said he played the game against Sweden with more emotion than he had ever seen him play before. He's putting in a pretty good performance tonight. I think the spotlight's being shared by Lemieux for Team Canada and Mark Messier, who's really having a night himself, although it's not showing on the scoreboard.
Canada leading 3-2. Goulet to center ice. He's checked by Boschik and hustling back. Now Goulet in to get it, trying to center. Baynock is there. Sutter checked him. Quick centering pass. Came into the center ice area, knocked back in by Canada, and then it's called on an offside at the Team Czechoslovakia blue line.
Well, Wayne Gretzky, who is in his customary spot atop the scoring statistics in this tournament, never missed a scoring championship in a tournament that he has played in, and then goes right back to when Wayne Gretzky was a 16-year-old playing for Team Canada at the World Junior Tournament right in this building. The late edition. Kept saying, no, he's too young. He can't do it. Well, he did it.
Here's Czechoslovakia. Liba, number 11. Liba trying to feed it through for Poshek, but Coffey is there. He pokes it into the corner. Poshek gets it anyway. To Liba. Back to Staviana. Now in front of the net. Poshek shot. Murphy blocked that with a good play. Here's Liba centering one. And this is intercepted by Murphy, who leads the rush to center. Into Howard Chuck. Leaving it for Anderson. Back to Howard Chuck, but Sherban there to break it up. Howard Chuck and Liba fight for it. Liba then clears it into center ice. And Paul Coffey takes over for Canada. Fires it back in. Sherban, number 7. Czechoslovakia trailing by a goal in this sudden death semifinal. The winner will play the Soviet Union in a best-of-3 Canada Cup final series beginning here in Montreal 2 nights from now. Here's a lead pass for Rochal. Rochefort trying to catch him. Rochal a shot. Dior had to come out. Now Lubina. And prop up ends him. And Gartner has the puck. Gartner shoots it around onto the boards. Ruzicka couldn't center. And it's back into Team Czechoslovakia's end of the ring. Baynock, number 9. Beating Rochal. He moves in. Ruzicka, the trailer. Gilmore checked him, but couldn't get it out of there. Now a shot from the point. Pure the save. Rebound. Oh, and that's poked just wide by number 18, Lubina. And Canada clear it to center. Czechoslovakia dumping it back in. Crossman there. Leaving it for Bork. Bork trying to move it up. Bork to Anderson. Anderson into Gilmore. He lets Gartner play it. Now in front. Anderson couldn't get his stick on it, and Czechoslovakia come back with Boschik. Ahead on right wing for Yoshko. Muir fires it around onto the boards. Mike Gartner. Ahead to Doug Gilmore, number 28. Gilmore fires it in. And then Team Canada change on the fly. Boschik back to get it. Now Goulet back of the net. Michel Goulet can't get it centered. In comes Sutter to dig it off the boards. And Czechoslovakia have 2 men on Sutter. Canada hold it in. Murphy shoots one. That hit Sherban, and then Sherban headed for the high stick. Canada play it, so it's waved off. And here's Paul Coffey. Coffey cutting in, one-hander, Hasek the save, and he smothered it. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
The only thing we know is that the Soviet Union is going to be involved in those upcoming games. Will it be Canada or Czechoslovakia? Canada protecting a 3-2 advantage right now with 16:36 remaining in regulation time. The Canada Cup final start Friday night right here at the Montreal Forum. Sunday in Hamilton, and if necessary, Tuesday in Hamilton.
Claude Lemieux has not made an appearance since that twisted knee back in the second period. We'll endeavor to get an injury report on him. Canada running into some injury problems on the forward lines. Here's Herdina dropping it back of his own goal, and now Stabiana winds it around onto the other side. Howard-Chuck holding it in, but it's carried out by Stabiana to Bolek, number 19. Bolek trying to center. Rochefort is there to clear it. Here's Dolezal putting it in front. Now Herdina over to Dolezal. He drops it to Baynock. Return to Dolezal. And back of the net goes Messier. Cleared one. Dolezal picks it off on the boards. Can't get it centered. Dolezal shot. Pure a stick save. He didn't see that till the last second. Cleared to center. Stabiana firing it. Oh, and then Rochefort runs into Herdina. Back comes Czechoslovakia. Bolek a drive and a short side pad save by Pure. Rochefort fell, knocked it back to his defense partner Patrick, but it's picked off. Now Sherban shoots. Pure a save, and Rochefort fires the rebound out on right wing, and here comes Canada with Anderson. Glenn Anderson trying to pick his way in. Canada changing on the fly. And Czechoslovakia with Sherban firing it out into center ice. Poshek couldn't get it. And Murphy clears it to Gartner. He's checked. Center to Poshek. But he was checked at the last second by Murphy. And here comes Lemieux. With Gartner, Lemieux flips it in. And Hasek clears it aside. Lemieux again. Mario Lemieux cutting in. Shoots past the wide side by a couple of feet. And then it's Sherban for Czechoslovakia to Poshek. Offside, says the linesman Kevin Collins. This is the Labatt.
The report on Claude Lemieux is he has a left ankle problem. We haven't got the total medical version of what's wrong with the left ankle, except to say that it's serious enough that he will not return tonight. Spun around on a check, and Lubina picked up that cross-checking penalty at 12:34 of the second period.
And with Dineen already sidelined, Tocchet out of there. It adds to Canada's woes up front on the right side. Here's Gretzky and forechecking, trying to center dead. Hasek grabbed it before Brent Sutter could get a stick on it. And we'll get a face-off deep in Team Czechoslovakia's end of the ring.
Well, for the first time in this tournament, we're beginning to see some consistency of lines now. The Messier-Anderson-Howard-Chuck line with Howard-Chuck at center, and here's the Gretzky line. Gretzky along with Sutter, who gets the chance in front looking for a loose puck, and right there number 16, the other line mate, the left winger, Michel Goulet. So those two lines seem to be consistently appearing on the ice. Now the Howard-Chuck line had a pretty difficult time of it their last shift. I don't know whether that's going to change the thinking of Mike Keenan or not. He's not too patient when it comes to things like this on this level of competition, but I think we've probably seen a string of shifts, Dan, put together with some consistency for the first time in the tournament.
Here's Gilmore on a face-off against Block, or at least to Gretzky. Center to Sutter, shot. Rebound, and Sutter shot that wide. Now Gretzky into the crease. Gretzky tried to get it, but it's shot away by Kuchera, and now flipped into center ice. Gretzky with a couple of good chances, and he elected to make a pass instead of shoot, which is not unusual for number 99. Here's Goulet dumping it in, and Hasek out of the net to deflect it, and it goes up into the crowd. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
34 mark of the last period. Claude Lemieux was hurt when he was checked here. Now he's reaching for the puck as he let a pass go, kind of a back pass. He was knocked over, and you can see his left ankle underneath twisted. The report is it is not broken. It's not that serious, but it may be a sprain enough to keep him off skates for a couple of days. Again, we haven't got any official medical opinion on that, so maybe it's best to leave the speculation to later.
Here's a chance for Canada, but Hrdina is there for Czechoslovakia to clear it. 3-2, Canada leading. We're approaching the 6.5-minute mark here of the third period. Here's Murphy. Number 8 back of his own goal to Coffey. Flips it on the boards, and Howardchuk, who's out with Anderson and Messier, gives to Anderson to Messier. Number 11, Mark Messier, flipping it in. Tipped off onto the side. Anderson gets it. Centered, but Dolezal had it. Now Messier trying to get it in front. Couldn't, and Dolezal feeds Hrdina. Hrdina runs into his line mate on the play, and that broke it up, and back comes Messier to Anderson. Wayne Anderson moving in. Back to Howardchuk, but Baynock is there to clear it. And here comes Labina. Crossman back defensively for Canada. There's Doug Crossman into the check zone to Gartner with a big slap shot wide. And that bounces all the way back into Canada's end. Here's Bork to Crossman. Back to Bork. Into Brian Kropp. Kropp into the corner. To Mario Lemieux. Lemieux stick handling beautifully, but finally has it knocked away. And here's a breakaway pass for Pochak. Cuts in. Crossman tied him up, and he never got the shot off. Good play by Crossman. Sherban shot blocked. Sherban again, a drive off the glass. Now Boschik holding it in. Leva into the corner. Poor pass intercepted by Kropp. Kropp for Canada with a long one. Here's Gretzky. Overskates it in the corner, and Hrdina gives it to Boschik, who's back for Czechoslovakia. Goulet broke that up, and back comes Canada. Sutter to Gretzky with Goulet. Pass to Goulet. He scores! Michel Goulet! Terrific play. Gretzky just feathering it over, airmailed it, as Brad would like to say. And Goulet, you give him that chance. He didn't score 50 goals a year over a long period for not being able to make that play. That line really clicking now. Sutter, Gretzky, Goulet, all of them in on it. Goulet's second of the tournament. Gretzky and Sutter the assist. 8:16 the time. It gives Canada a 4-2 lead. Remember, Canada trailed at one point 2-0. Canada on the attack again. Howardchuk gets it to Bork. His shot blocked. And Baynock starts back. Ahead to Yashko. Out of the goal is Grant Fuhr to play the puck. And now Anderson loses to Yashko. Centered it out in front. Loose in the slot, but no shot able to be unloaded, and Crossman cleared it to center. Kuchera, number 14, just handed it to Messier. Now Yashko stole it from him, but ran into Glenn Anderson. And here's Anderson for Canada. He takes a hit from Baynock, but cleared it in. Volak loses to Howardchuk. Into Lemieux, bounced over his stick. Now Lemieux centers one. Coffey at the point. Shot blocked. Held in on a good play by Kropp. Pochak diving to get it away from Gartner, and he held on, and then Gartner and Baynock push at each other. 10:43 remaining. Canada leading 4-2. This is the Labatt Canada.
Well, there are the two coaches. The one on the left had a 2-0 lead in this game in the first period. The one on the right has seen his team score 4 in a row. And they lead 4-2 now.
Here's Mario Lemieux to Craig Hartsburg at the point. He fires it into the corner. Sherban back to get it. Now cleared out by Czechoslovakia. Flipped back in by Patrick. Picked up by Gartner. Gartner into Lemieux. Mario Lemieux trying to center. Now Prop left it back of the net. There's Prop battling, but Chaika comes up with it. And his pass to number 24, Herdina. Now to Volek around Hartsburg, but you're there to cover up on that. Back comes Lemieux. 3-on-2, Canada break. Mario Lemieux slides it in front. Gartner now getting it to Prop. To Gartner. Behind the net to Lemieux. Out in front. Comes to the point. Crossman holding it in. Bounces in front to Prop. Into Lemieux. And cleared away by Czechoslovakia. Into center ice. Hartsburg flipped it back in. Now Czechoslovakia with Volek. Giving it to Herdina. Shot blocked by Crossman. Another shot stopped by Crossman. And the defensive play of Doug Crossman coming to the fore here in this third period. One of the Philadelphia Flyers on Team Canada.
It's all coming together now. First of all, we've begun to see a couple of lines working well together. The third line was out there as well with Mario Lemieux playing with Prop. And there's Doug Crossman, who has saved a goal. He made a great play at the side of the net at one point to save a goal, then blocked a couple of shots. Here we come. That's Hartsburg, number 4, but Crossman coming into the picture is number 2. Here's the block. Puck comes loose. He moves over, plays his position, keeps the net between him and the shooter, and blocks it again.
Now Canada with Crossman to Goulet. That just failed to click. And Sheba back to get it. Canada, Sutter in forechecking. To Gretzky at the side of the net. Gretzky falls but works it to Bourque. That shot off the target. Crossman pinching in. Crossman shoots. Sutter the rebound. Hoshek stopped them both. With the second one helped out by Gosek, the defenseman. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Game, and in Czechoslovakia, they still sew you up on the bench. Take you back to clinics and so on. Volek there being repaired. With a chop across the side of the mouth. Very quietly, having a productive night from a point standpoint, is Michel Goulet. A goal and 2 assists. He's the leading point scorer in this game.
Here's Sutter trying to center one. Hoshek grabbed that. Another thing we should harken back to, Horshiba injured on that hard hit early in this game by Messier, and he's one of their best back in the blue line, and he's been unavailable since early in the game.
Well, that was the check of the tournament. There is Brent Sutter, who's probably adapted better than the rest of the players who have been asked to do so, playing in a position he's not familiar with.
Gretzky trying to center to Sutter, but it's broken up, and here comes Ruzicka. Popchak used at Team Canada's blue line by Murphy. And here is Larry Murphy. Murphy to Brent Sutter. Sutter trying to fire it in. Ruzicka knocks it down. He gives it to Rochelle, number 10, but Coffey coming up on the play. Now Ruzicka back for Czechoslovakia into Lubina. Backhander, Pure the save. Trying to center, did. Coffey knocked it away. And Murphy clears it out of there. 8:23 left in regulation time. In a sudden death semifinal such as this, there'd be overtime if we were tied. Here's Messier. Breaks in on right wing. Messier. Backhander, and a save by Hoshek on Messier after a good individual effort. Howard Chuck into Messier, but Baynock there to intercept. To Rochelle, number 10. And knocked away by Canada. Bourque at the blue line broke it up. Chucka, number 6 for Czechoslovakia. To Herdina. Back to Baynock. Into center ice to Volek. Now to Dolezal, number 15. He tries to work through. And over comes Crossman to bang him into the boards. Volek center. Loose in front. Herdina shot. And a save by Pure. And Canada come back. Messier got as far as center, then was tied up by Volek. Now it comes to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck upended by Baynock. And Czechoslovakia trailing by 2 now. Come to center ice. Intercepted and cleared back down by Canada. And shot around in the boards. Boshik is there. Fires one up on right wing to Poshak. Poshak in around Hartsburg. Cuts in. Put it in front. Gartner back checking. Breaks that up. Here's Mike Gartner. Ahead to Lemieux, but Sherbon intercepts. And back is Sheba to Leva to Poshek in the slot. Shot blocked by the defenseman. He didn't know where it was for the moment. James Patrick with a big block. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Pretty good chance in front of the net by Czechoslovakia. They handled the puck very well as they came in over the line. Leva dropping it off. The shot nicely timed on the block right there by James Patrick. Now, the guy who doesn't know where the puck is Fjord. He's going to look around, and it's underneath Patrick. But the timing was very good. Time and a place to drop down. And don't do it too soon, and don't do it too late.
Speaking of time, 6:40 remaining in regulation time. Sherbon a drive. Saved by Pure. And Canada's Mario Lemieux comes up with it, and back he comes on left wing. Lemieux flipping it in. Sherbon back after it. Gartner into forecheck, gets help from Brian Propp. Back to Murphy, band on it, and Coffey has to hustle back for Canada. Into center ice, Lemieux just tipped it ahead. Here's Leva. Coffey intercepts. Here comes Canada on offense to Lemieux. In front to Gartner, but Leva was there defensively. Now Mario Lemieux in the corner. Gets some help from Gartner. Gartner knocking it around on the boards. Propp on the other side to Coffey. Shoots, that's high off the glass. Here's Gretzky. Back to Coffey, but this time intercepted, and here's a 3-on-2 break for Czechoslovakia, but Coffey uses the poke check to break it up, and Ruzicka drops it to Staviano. Now to Rochal. Here's number 10. Petra Rochal, checked by Gretzky, to Goulet, in the clear. Poshek, a sprawling save to Rob Goulet. And maybe keep Czechoslovakia alive. But cleared in by Czechoslovakia. Grossman back to get it. Chaika pinching in. Held it in, but now a clearing pass to Gretzky. Baynock back on Gretzky. Gretzky tied up, gets away from Baynock, centers one. And Rochal intercepts, and away comes Czechoslovakia the other way. Rochal over to Ruzicka, and Bork knocked him down and comes up with the puck. Bork to Messier. Canada leading 4-2. Messier into Bork. Bork is checked. Grossman up with the play. And then a breakaway pass. And here's the break for Bolak. In the clear, he scores! Bolak from Herdina. Both of Team Canada's defensemen got caught up ice. And it was a two-man breakaway for Czechoslovakia.
And all of a sudden, we're back into a one-goal hockey game. As we watch the play, both the defense way up. Look at this. Now, this is a 2-on-0 break. Verdina, number 24, just slides it over to Volek. He goes high on Grant Fjord. And Cole. The defense got too caught up in what was happening out there with Gretzky and company, and they paid the price.
Both the defensemen were inside the other team's blue line. The two deepest men were both forwards. And Canada gets burned there. Here's Czechoslovakia within a goal of sending in this game into overtime. Verdina drops it back. Bolshik is there to get it. Bolshik firing it out. Gartner knocks it down into Lemieux. Lemieux for Canada. Back to Coffey. Shot off the goal post, but that shot right along the ice. Here's Herdina for Czechoslovakia. Herdina centers to Bolak. Shot wide of the net. Rebound. Oh, and Bolak put it just wide. And Bolak just about scored again to tie this game. Here's Canada with Mario Lemieux clearing it down the ice. Baynock back to get it. To Leva, number 11. 3:38 left in regulation time. 4-3 Canada. Canada's Messier trying to move up. And now Bork. Across onto the other side to Crossman. Now to Howardchuk. Howardchuk slides it in for Messier. Poshek out to clear it. And it's Sheva trying to clear it up. Crossman held it in. Into Messier to Crossman. Down in the boards to Messier to Crossman. Shot. That went off a stick and went wide. And Czechoslovakia clear it. Messier held it in. Staviana with 3 minutes left. Cleared it into center ice. Gretzky pokes it back in, but Liba has it. Now Glenn Anderson back in for Canada. Staviana, number 16, takes over. Czechoslovakia trailing by a goal. Staviana to Bainok. Bainok moving in, trying to center dead. Sutter there. Sutter able to clear it into center ice, and Poshek has it with 2.5 minutes left. Poshek, bad pass. Goulet picks it up, and then Goulet flips it down into Czechoslovakia's end of the ring. Sherban to Chaika. Now to Ruzicka, number 17. Canada 4, Czechoslovakia 3. Sudden death semifinal. Sutter feeding it into Lemieux. Mario Lemieux moves in. Shoots, rebound. Bryant Trump. Forget about Brian Trump. How about Mario Lemieux? Look at this move. That's a big goal because Czechoslovakia started to put the pressure on. How can a big man make moves like that? And the goal for Brock, 1756, his first of the tournament. But what a big one. Canada with a 2-goal lead again. Here's Czechoslovakia. Bainok, who's played a very strong game. Dropping it back, a drive from the left point. High and wide as Dolezal let it go. Now centered by Czechoslovakia, but Gartner beats Prop. Prop to Gartner. Trying to move in, trying to get it through the defense. Prop again, a shot blocked. Now Gartner, his shot. Now Lemieux trying to center. Does stand on an open net. At the other side as Gartner put it across. 1:21 left. Bolek moving into Dolezal. And Bork is there to break that up and clear it out. Canada with a 5-3 lead. Now Crossman for Team Canada. Off the boards to Howardchuk. His shot wide of the target. Czechoslovakia trailing by 2. Sheba with a minute to play in regulation time. Checked by Messier. Canada, Messier to Coffey. Trying to center. Here's a drive off the crossbar by Glenn Anderson. Now Coffey for Canada. Around to Messier, but cleared. Howardchuk is there. Can't knock it down. And Czechoslovakia with 38 seconds left. Sheba moving in. Dropping it back to Poshek. Gretzky checks in. And Gretzky comes to center. Had Sutter with him, but broken up by Staviana. Now Howardchuk with a shot. And a glove save by Hasek. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds away from a Canada-Soviet Union final in this Canada Cup. Here's Hasek moving it into Liba. Liba with 8 seconds left. Lets it go off a stick into the crowd. 7 seconds left in regulation time. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Here's a shot from the face-off by Czechoslovakia. Gretzky coming up with it. And this game is over. And Canada comes from behind a 2-0 deficit. They defeat Czechoslovakia 5-3 in a sudden death semifinal. Friday night here at the Forum. Team Canada and the Soviet Union in Game 1 of a best-of-3, and quite a comeback by Team Canada tonight, Ron Roos.
And the last 30 minutes of this game was the Team Canada we've been waiting for. They finally got their act together. You saw defensemen who started to play defense and look like they belong on a team. You saw 3 forward lines that were working very well together. And you saw another tour de force from Mario Lemieux as Dr. Jan Starcy, the head coach of Czechoslovakia, watches a little disappointed, I think. He had a 2-0 lead in this game. And the team was playing so well, but then they just were simply overpowered by Team Canada starting at the 10:43 mark of the second period. From that point on, Canada outscored Czechoslovakia 5-1.
Now, as we tell you that Canada outshot Czechoslovakia 37-24, let's go to the post-game ceremonies at center ice.
Mesdames et messieurs, voici maintenant les joueurs Labatt du match de ce soir. Pour en faire la présentation, j'inviterai M. Alain Gay, directeur des projets spéciaux pour Labatt, et également M. Gary Stronach, gérant des ventes pour la compagnie Canon Cameras. Le joueur du match pour l'équipe de la Tchécoslovaquie recevra un ensemble complet de 10 pièces de monnaie olympique en argent, courtoisie de Canadian Tires. The player of the game for Team Czechoslovakia will receive a complete set of 10 1988 Olympic Winter Game coins, courtesy of Canadian Tire. Le numéro 11, number 11, Igor Liba. Le joueur du match pour l'équipe Canada recevra une caméra Canon EOS. Player of the game for Team Canada will receive a Canon EOS camera. Mario Lemieux.
Surprise there, 2 goals and an assist for big number 66 of Team Canada, and Canada wins 5-3 and will advance to the final against the Soviet Union here beginning at the Forum Friday night. The final, Canada 5, Czech. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
It will be Canada against the Soviet Union in the final of the 1987 Canada Cup, as Canada beats Czechoslovakia 5-3 in the one-game semifinal. There may have been the odd people at home who thought that's not the way it was going to turn out. Mario Lemieux joins us now, and was there ever any concern in the room that when you're down 2-0, Dominik Hasek was playing terrific hockey in goal for Czechoslovakia? Was there concern that you might not win this hockey game?
I think so. After the first, we were nervous and we didn't know what to say, and we just decided to go out there and play our own game and start to take the body and pay off for us.
There were a lot of people around the team concerned that maybe you were looking past the Czechs to the Soviets. Do you think that might have been a little bit of a factor in the first period?
Not really. I think we were just nervous because of the semifinal, and everybody wanted to do well, and we did too much out there, and I don't think we were looking forward to the Russians Friday. We had to win that game and start all over again.
Well, you got 2 big goals for the team in this hockey game. Down 2-1 when you brought them even, and then you put them ahead. If we're going to discount the goal that was discounted, we'll play them back for you. Maybe you can tell us how they happened from your perspective. First, we pick it up 2-1, Czechoslovakia midway in the second period.
Well, there was a broken play at their blue line, and Goulet took the puck. He just saw me for a second, gave me the puck. I came down, and I saw the opening on the far side. I just put the puck over there and got a good bounce.
Well, that was less than a minute after Dale Howardchuk had finally got you on the board. Then you get the next goal.
Well, the next goal was a beautiful play by Gretz at the blue line, and Ray Borch saw me coming in. It was a 2-on-1. Just flipped me the puck, and I deflected it on the far post. Just went in.
Sometimes it's easy, huh? Yeah. Mario, thank you very much. Good luck against the Soviets starting Friday night. Mike Keenan, coach of Team Canada, will join us in just a moment. Once again, the final tonight was 5-3. Canada wins. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV, but first let's go upstairs to Dan Kelly.
And our Toyota scoring summary brought to you by Toyota, makers of the roomy family Camry. Who could ask for anything more? Canada with Goulet at 8:16 to open up a 2-goal lead. Volek came back on a breakaway goal at 15:26. Well, then Brian Propp with his first goal of this tournament sewed it up for Canada at 17:56. Here you see the final shots on goal. Canada 37 and Czechoslovakia 24. Back to Dan Matheson in our studio.
Well, that's
Well, this is Mike Keenan, the head coach of Team Canada, winning coach tonight, and I suppose we had a few nervous moments, didn't we, this evening?
A couple. But we had a great comeback, and the fellas really gathered their composure in the second period, came out and got the job done.
This is the time after a hockey game when a coach likes to let his players relax and enjoy it. And you are already thinking about the next game, which is Friday in the Soviets, and you have a roster which is getting more rapidly depleted by the moment. We had Claude Lemieux and Norman Rochefort leave the game tonight, and they did not.
Canada Cup Hockey has been brought to you by Micron Skates, makers of the new bio-engineered Mega Hockey Skate, worn and endorsed by hockey superstar Ray Bourque. Micron, hockey's innovators. And by Merrill Lynch, your world should know no boundaries. By Minolta, makers of the Freedom line of 35mm automatic focus compact cameras. Get freedom for your best shot. And by Bauer Skates, the choice of over 50% of the NHL. Bauer, fit for performance.
The winning edge. It starts right here at Winners Only.